clicking the button. Chill
All
out,
right,
chill
hold
out.
on. We gotta appropriate our phones to do the thing. I guess.
Yeah,
Sorry,
yeah.
apologize. I have to.
I'm like, I don't know what you.
I'm the adult in this relationship.
Like how no one believes you. Zero people believe you.
Very thankful that nobody believes me.
I'm barely paying attention to what's going on.
I'm so proud that nobody believes me. I love y'all so much. Nobody believes me.
Oh goodness.
Because it's not true.
There's some truth to it some days. Some days I'm the adult.
You have like 20-minute windows of being the adult. Don't act like it's.
That's all I need.
Yeah, and the other 23 hours and 40 minutes you're not. So like that's what I'm saying. You have a brief window.
That's fine. Man, Taylor just dropped a bar. That's embarrassing.
What'd she say?
Fun fact. With an average finishing position of 17.1, Joey Logano holds the record for the worst average finish of any NASCAR Cup Series champion.
Yep.
I love statistics like that.
Worse than Kyle Busch in 2015. Art. Sorry.
Why you come to me?
I had to do that. Because you be talking shit about the Kyle Busch championship.
But that raggedy ass season that ain't mean anything.
No, I'm just
because he beat a bunch of back markers.
Just saying,
he beat that era's Cody Wares and Corey LaJoy's, and I'm supposed to be impressed.
My brother and Craig. Okay, never mind. Anyway, so
he's top 35 in points. Wow, you could.
That's all that matters.
Right, you could drag the corpse of Jeff Burton out there at that point, and he would have been able to do it too. It's not a high bar.
Sure.
Okay, we live.
Oh my goodness, what an insane stat.
Where is the tweet? Is there a tweet?
Yeah, I just retweeted it.
Damn, no Carl coming today. I'm surprised.
The tweet of the
man. Slurs will be said talking about Carl.
Off camera. There's
on camera, not even on camera.
Wait, I thought I did retweet.
I'll drink to that. Hold on.
We don't start soon. I'm gonna need to go get. Oh, I retweeted on the wrong account.
Oops, damn, on that burner.
Got it.
Yeah, on the burner where yeah.
We all got one.
I'm gonna join the live as myself.
Yeah, me too.
I retweeted on the wrong account. On that burner. Yeah, on the burner where yeah.
This is a delay on it.
All right.
Yes, turn your volume
down.
Yeah,
can you not mute?
Mute
Have
yourself,
you never done this?
He hasn't done this before. He's new to this. We're true to this.
Yes, he's been on the live.
Monte, welcome to the live. No, he's been on a what do you call those things on Twitter? A space. He's been on the space. He hasn't been on camera.
All right.
Welcome to the debut of Bonte on live broadcast.
God bless. I'm glad the end of the season.
Yep.
That is the last episode, boy.
Any backlash we will not be reading until
I'm not
February.
Responding to it. Don't email. Don't leave comments on it.
We
done.
Yeah.
We're cooked.
You won't even be on Twitter.
Nah, bro. We off this.
I'm done. I'm on Blue Sky.
Same with me.
So's the vibes. We all on Blue Sky.
Mm-hmm.
We Team Butterfly out here.
Mm-hmm.
Team Butterfly.
Team Butterfly.
All right, bro.
It's a butterfly. You don't watch the load screen. It's a butterfly. Shout out Ashton Kutcher.
Oh man! All right,
what's that for?
Because what does Ashton Kutcher have to do with this?
And he looks at me like I'm crazy. That's the thing. He looks at me like I'm crazy.
Come on now.
That's the funny part. The audacity to come to me.
I feel crazy for wearing these big headphones. I'm trying to flex our hat that we got art. You know, I'm saying because it's the Victory Lane.
I don't know why
vibes.
you needed big headphones to do that. Though.
Wait, what do the headphones have to do with the hat?
It's a complicated story.
Exactly.
I don't know where my AirPods are.
How many viewers do we have? Can we get started?
We got 69.
Nice.
I'm just gonna keep sipping, and
we're just gonna wait. Good evening, everyone. We're gonna do our official intro soon. Welcome to the liveness of the vibeness.
Mm-hmm.
We're gonna explain let me take that back. we're going to explain my poorly crafted Canva poster that I posted on our socials. We'll explain that here in a second.
Don't talk
I'm
yourself
embarrassed
down.
to say that I've never had my hand held as tightly as Art held my hand making that.
And you didn't even follow my instructions. That's the bad
like
part.
5-year-old. I thought I did.
You skipped like my last 2 steps.
No.
And I saw it. I was like, all right, well, I'm in a meeting, so I can't reply to this.
No,
you didn't, but it's okay.
I just changed the font to make it look better.
This is so unnecessary.
Why'd you fuck up on
right?
I don't use, so in my defense, I don't use
tell me,
Canva.
I'll tell you.
I don't use Canva.
Oh my God.
The only reason why I'm self-taught in CapCut is because Art was like, yo, I'm not editing this, I'm going to sleep. And he like literally left me alone. So I'm like doing the episode edit by myself in CapCut because he said, oh, it's so easy. It took me 4 hours to do it, but I was very proud. And this was a last minute thing because I forgot that we were doing this. I mean, I didn't forget, but I wanted our audience to participate. So
he texted me and he's like, hey, yo, how do I make this graphic in CapCut? And I was like, brother, you're using the wrong tool for that.
Yeah, 1, you don't. 2,
you're just up here
wow, that's crazy.
You're trying to turn screws with a hammer. Like, bro, it don't work like that.
Too far.
That's not how it works.
I will turn this show into a train podcast. Continue to play with me.
Oh my God.
It'll be Thomas the Tank Engine.
Why do you act like that's a threat to me?
I feel like everybody who's currently like on this podcast would be 110% down for that.
I tried this is like we post so much stuff,
I don't know.
I'm very upset that I don't have the clip from that episode. I tried to post that earlier today, saying that this is the last episode of Victory Lane Vibes. Victory Lane Station started in 2025, but I couldn't find the video of the bit.
Do you guys want to know something insane? Well, it might only sound insane because I live in Indiana and I get stuck at a train track like once or twice a week. But I've never been the first car at a train crossing before until like a week and a half ago. And I thought it was so cool. I rolled my window down so I could listen to it. Like,
did you hit him with the
cool experience?
No, because I thought that was for like semi trucks. I didn't realize it was for trains too.
It's not. That's the joke.
Oh, okay.
It's not a thing.
The train started.
I was like, I didn't think trains like.
Trains have a mandatory horn signal that they have to do at every crossing. So like they honk at every crossing, but it's like I hear it all the time. Pattern. Yes,
I'm like surrounded.
That's the joke.
Okay, I'm like surrounded by trains.
Oh, I didn't check into any of the races and get my points.
Man, what the fuck? I'm getting off topic. I'm sorry.
It's all right. You're good.
All right. Well, oh man, that's crazy. I just opened my NASCAR app for the first time today, and they gave the scanner free to everybody this weekend.
Oh, oops.
Oof.
Oh, Peacock. Oh, wait, ain't the races on Peacock? Oh well.
The race is over, Dante.
It was on
Peacock. No, I saw it earlier. I barely watched it.
Oh.
But I kept up with it.
All right.
Man, let me tell you something about this race, because we're not going to go in order, so fuck it.
We are going to go in order. You just being crazy.
This race reached new heights for me. Get ready to clip it, Jared. This race reached new heights for me. I fell asleep 4 times during this race.
Oh no.
I woke up, I lost consciousness and regained consciousness 4 times.
Oh no.
In today's race.
NASCAR
no.
Like this is new heights. I've never achieved this level of heights of sleep. Like it's so bad. I was like, okay, cool, nothing's happening. I'm dead. I'm back. I'm dead.
Yikes.
Stage 2 is still going. Okay, I'm dead again. Like
sleeping to stage 3 though, like is the move. Not on the championship race, but
hey, look, man. If I've learned nothing from today, then I guess we can get started. Well, if NASCAR doesn't put this championship race back on 1.5 miles, so help me God.
They never will.
So help me.
I'll be right back, and then we can start.
All right, cool. Bye.
You know, they have logos in the airport, so they have to have the championship. You know, they have a pickup truck driving around the city with the trophy and some thick glass. You know,
I don't care about that.
I'm just telling you, man. Activations. I heard the word activations more this week than any other week. Oh, this is getting stronger. I started this up and I was like, "Well, this ain't nothing."
Yeah,
that burned a little bit.
Baby, we live.
It's fine. I don't have any meetings tomorrow morning. Thank God. I'm sleeping in. I hope if my boss somehow hears this, I'm at work. I promise. Don't pay attention to Slack.
Liar.
I mean,
Yo, I was gonna be up at 9 in the morning.
Well,
I can be up, but not at work.
You can be up, but not at work.
Shit, I'm sleeping.
That's the one fun thing about remote work, because you can roll over, open Teams. Good morning, everyone. Put yourself on Do Not Disturb and like create a fake meeting for yourself until the real meeting starts like an hour and a half later and go back to sleep.
I never made a fake meeting, but I did. I remember one time falling asleep and I just like turned my laptop volume up all the way and I sat it right next to my head. So like if it pinged, it would wake me up. And only one time did it ever ping, but my God, was it?
I'm scared.
That sleep when you're like drool coming out your mouth, like you'd sleep.
That was me yesterday.
Everyone's had that where it's like you're just out and then just and it's like, God, help me. I'm awake now, I promise.
This is interactive, ladies and gentlemen, so please post your comments. I can see everything as your host, moderator. Emma says, I miss Prepaid Phoenix. I went to the race in 04 and it was fire.
I feel you, Emma.
I mean, we gonna talk.
I miss when the front stretch where the start finish line was in a decent
Facts.
location.
I miss before they flipped the track. That's when Phoenix cooked for me, when it was an actual track.
I agree with.
Yeah.
The races used to mean something.
Remember they used to call Phoenix ISM Raceway?
I do remember that. And they changed the rights to it.
Here's the worst part. I don't understand. I'm sorry, I'm going off topic. Y'all got the whole victory lane. Use that bitch.
Oh, yeah, that's crazy. They had a whole victory lane.
They don't do
it. And it's
nice. Everybody
too.
celebrated. They celebrated in the apron.
Yeah,
I think.
Yes, on the front stretch. Well, the current front stretch. Yes. I just hate we got rid of the two things from COVID that we kept were no practice and this front stretch victory celebrations. Like the worst two things.
On the toy.
What is that?
Damn.
What is that?
1942.
Okay.
I forgot I had
grandpa vodka.
I can see it better.
This is tequila. This is
everybody drinking.
I told you. We said we drinking. I don't drink for sport. I drink to sleep.
That's concerning. That's not okay. That's not a good sentence. That was an inner thought. That we should have stayed in the draft.
All right, let's start the show. All right. Let's start the show.
Listen, let me tell you a quick story.
Deflect.
So yesterday I go to the ABC store for this. I come out. There's a guy walking, so I hold the door for him. He comes. He walks up. He reaches in his pocket. He pulls out like 3 mini bottles, throws them in the trash can, then goes in the ABC store. I said, buddy, that's a sign. Like you have a problem. Like that's not okay. Like that is a concerning.
Throwing them away on the way in.
Literally as I'm crossing the threshold into the store, I was like, all right.
I've done that with my energy drink cans in my car before, like in the morning before work. Throw yesterday's away. But that feels more acceptable than throwing away tiny little as I walk in to buy more.
Yeah, I was like, this is real drinking. This is not no game. This is not no hobby for you. This is life.
Oh,
that's
goodness.
For life. We here.
Don't those stores open at like 10 a.m.? Like people will go in at 10 a.m.
All right,
that's early.
Y'all ready? Can we do it? Yes, we can. All right. Welcome to a special episode of Victory Lane Vibes. We are your hostesses with the mostesses. It's Jared, it's Art, it's Bonte, it's Jer, and we're here live to do our season recap episode and clean out Art's closet. First things first, Jer has created a game for us this evening. So she's going to explain the rules. We're going to go around and explain what we made, and then we're going to get into the show. Jer.
Yes.
Explain your challenge to us last week.
So, disclaimer, the instructions that were posted included the instructions for these guys also, and it wasn't supposed to. So basically, the idea is that if you are a human being who drinks alcohol, or if you want to make a mocktail for this, that's also super fun. But basically, just choose a moment from the season and either create a drink around it or like choose a drink. So you can choose like a Busch Light. If that's a moment you want to go for. One of the examples was if like Tyler Reddick is your driver and you wanted a Tyler Reddick moment, you could drink one of like the hard monsters, or do what Art is doing, spoiler alert, and have like a Monster energy drink along with your alcohol.
Yeah, that was told in confidence.
I'm sorry. It's an example. What I am doing though is I chose Suarez's win. So I was going to do like a white coconut margarita because when he won, like if you guys don't know, Suarez carries a piñata around, and when he wins, he'll break the piñata. It's been a bit since he won last. So when they broke the piñata, there were some Tootsie Rolls in it that had turned white because that's what happens to old Tootsie Rolls. They were really gross. Yeah, I don't know why that's a thing, but that's a thing. I did not do the white coconut margarita that I was going to do though. So I just have a spicy mango margarita. In honor of Suarez's win. So that was my choice. What are yours?
All right, what you got?
I mean, she halfway gave away the story, but not even halfway. You're like, well, you want to do like I know you could do anyway. So for mine, my favorite moment of the year was the Xfinity Indy race, the ending of that race with Riley's crazy drifting move to beat Almirola. And I was hoping this would get double points in honor of a Tyler Reddick title, but that didn't happen. So anyway, I have Ultra Fiesta Mango Monster, and then that's mixed with some. I know I didn't know it was a thing either until yesterday.
They're very
good. And then I've got some Jose Cuervo Golden Margarita mix, and so you don't taste any liquor. You just taste two types of fruit. Oh, and some lime juice. I got to include. So it's very good. But it's starting to get stronger, so it might be a problem as the show goes on.
So for me, as you know, Bubba fan, you see Fishy back there. So I made my drink off of the Omni heat paint scheme that everybody else in the group chat hates but me. I love that car. Love its goldness. So what I did is I used the Jose Cuervo Gold Margarita Mix, a bottle of Terramana Reposado, some Grand Marnier, and I put it in a pitcher, and I stirred it, and it's delicious.
AKA,
so that's the secret. I just gave away my margarita mix. I'm not responsible for the things you do when you drink it, because yes, I added alcohol to alcohol, and I made it fantastic. So,
AKA, you're gonna be yelling out the window within 2 hours.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be yelling out the window within 20 minutes. Don't play.
I was gonna say 2 hours. That'll be when it ends.
2 hours.
That's when it crashes out.
Said, how do we mute Jarrett for him?
Oh, don't worry, I'm in control.
Oh boy,
I got it. Don't worry.
Bonte, play participant. What are you bringing to the live vibes?
I don't feel like drinking it today. I just got Pepsi and Kool-Aid.
And Coca-Cola.
You have Pepsi and Kool-Aid together?
No, but no.
All right, you're on mute, and I really wish you weren't, because I said something really.
I said, boy, if those were to mix together, I was about to light you up. But definitely, I respect the choices. I
choose.
What? Well, hold on. This is the tell. What flavor Kool-Aid?
What the fuck she made? Okay, so it's lemonade. I think it's strawberry lemonade. No. I don't remember. Different flavors. I'm saying lemonade, cherry, and then blueberry lemonade. No, Friday lemonade. One of those two.
And you're drinking regular Pepsi behind that? Are you chasing them with regular Pepsi?
Pepsi is not. Pepsi, it's not open.
I was about to say your blood sugar about to be on 5,000. Good God!
But fair moment this season. Crystal Bells. I know it's a rain wind delay, so I literally had nothing else this season besides.
601.
Yep.
He had a double scheme today, and it was trash.
Who had a double scheme?
No, before shit. Yeah, that's the same scheme. That's the same scheme he won in early this year.
How many times do we have to teach you this lesson, old man?
No, the combo DeWalt interstate scheme actually goes insanely hard.
You're not going to sneak in here and then give bad opinions.
First of all, you have to be here. I didn't want to be here.
That's just too damn bad.
Carl, do you want to explain?
Are you participating in the drink champs?
Do I want to explain to what now? What? Hold on.
Do you want to explain your name to the class?
Oh, I don't.
We're live, pal.
Right. Oh, we're live. Okay.
Live. What's your name?
We live.
It's nothing. I just thought it was a funny way of saying my name. Well, my name is Carl, and then like Carlito is to me.
Hello, Carl.
Little Carl.
And then Way. And it could used to be a show called Carlito's Way, and I was like, what if I said it the other way?
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's a really funny moment when we interviewed Antron Brown.
Oh my God. I forgot about that. Actually, I didn't forget about it. I try to forget about it. So let me tell. So the story goes. So yeah, when we interviewed Antron, we had no clue what we were doing. We had no clue that like when you interview people, you can just talk to them, right? Mm-hmm. And so we gave Antron just the utmost respect, and there was just kind of these awkward pauses and things like that. To one point, Antron had to kind of get us to talk to him, and it was like momentary. But my name, I didn't change it back to Carl.
Oh no,
or anything. So he was like, he was like, Carlito's Way, what's going on, man? And I was like, and Antron Brown, a multi-time NHRA Top Fuel champion, like called me by a bit name, and I was just like, oh my God, I cannot believe that. And I think I corrected him, and I was like, what's Carl, by the way? I just, but yeah, so.
No, you should have made that your ringtone. Just that.
You should.
No,
just that moment.
I'm not in. I'm no longer in the 7th grade. So.
You sure? Because you like the. Never mind. We're not.
Look, bro. Look.
Never mind. Never mind.
There's nothing wrong with what transpired there. If I went uninvited and I had no reason to go, I could see why that was weird. But I was invited by staff. I knew people there. Nothing wrong with supporting the arts. And let me also tell you this: they had a silent auction before the play, and we won a bunch of stuff.
That's
but we also like donated like the most for a bunch of stuff that people didn't want. It is what it is. But we still end up combined raising about $200 for the theater department for that school, which is flat broke, mind you. So I'm supporting the arts. I'm helping the kids, and y'all are just being haters. I don't care.
Are you supporting the kids or are you money laundering?
Something about being invited by staff is just hilarious to me.
When you're dating said staff and you also are really good friends with another staff member, like
I'm not. It's like. Is there a VIP section for you?
Oh my God!
Was there a little card with your name printed on it at the seat?
Bro, I'm gonna tell you this right now, Arthur, and I mean it when I say it. This is the eve of Joey Logano not only winning a Mickey Mouse title, but also surpassing Kyle Busch in the record book. I'm liable to do anything and everything. I've already looked up how to rent a U-Haul and buy fertilizer in bulk, so I'm already close to the edge.
Carl about to crash out.
I'm about to crash out for real, bro. I already. What's the blue sky version of tweeting?
I don't know.
Tweeting? I don't know, but I hope not. Friend of the show, Tom Ingles' desk, and I think Phil both came up with that name. But I already put on out in the world that I was going to commit domestic terrorism because of the events of tonight's race. That's just a joke, but still, I am ready to crash out.
It's just a joke.
Glad I'm on a VPN. I'm currently recording from Buenos Aires.
I am on hotel Wi-Fi. I'm on hotel Wi-Fi, but you ain't got to type my name in to find me.
Got you in. They got the room.
They can type in obese black NASCAR fan mad and pull up my picture, date of birth, and everything. That's how easy that shit is right now. I am furious. And the worst part is I'm not even drinking. I can't because I didn't plan on being here.
They ain't got no bottles in that fridge.
If they do, no. That is a wonderful way to show up to a job tomorrow to be like, yeah, I took full advantage of the mini bar till the key end. No, thank you.
Why are you furious, Carl?
That's what Denzel did in Flight. He drank the whole thing.
You said why am I furious?
Yeah, let's just unpack that a little bit. Talk to the people. Talk to us.
Because we have talked about it all year, and we have jokingly said, what if the worst possible scenario crowns a champion this year? And we all went into this weekend thinking there's no way a guy that has 3 wins and lucked into 2 of them, and has had the worst average finish of his in
the history of the sport,
his 3 colleagues. There's no way this guy has enough luck and momentum to carry him into the penultimate round, the one race to decide the championship and win. No way, especially when you've had guys that put on much better performances. And somehow, the rain cloud that's been following me for 35 weeks, the bottom finally fell out. And I am over it. I would be perfectly okay with how this evening panned out had it been that Joey Logano had won 3 to 4 to 5 races on merit, his typical performance from him, and he was there, because he ran good. Okay, whatever. I don't like the guy, but hey, it sucks, but whatever, it's fine. But for it to pan out the way that it did, ironically enough, I'm trying on gloves that don't fit right now. Joey, don't test me.
Was that this year?
Huh?
Was the gloves thing this year? Was that this season or last season?
That was this year. I wasn't even thinking about it. Yeah, it was this year. A lot of things have happened this year that I've forgotten about. That was this year too. But yeah. Anyway.
All right,
the show's not started yet?
I mean, we got there and then you showed up, so I stopped. But let's get back into it. Because this is
blame Art. He the one told me, man.
We're doing a real episode. This is real life.
Okay.
So y'all know how we do. You know how we get down. First things first. It's the trucks. Tom Majeski put belt to ass Friday night and laid 88% of the laps for him to crown himself NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series Championship. Goodness gracious, Lord have mercy.
Championship.
Dominating isn't a strong enough word. Belt to ass. Belt to ass. Corey Haim was nowhere to be found. Christian Eckes was nowhere to be found. It was a wild race. It was a wild race. That one got me kind of emotional. I think I was more emotional about well, I'll take that back. The emotion started Friday with Ty winning. From shop hand to Truck Series Championship is a crazy timeline, crazy turn of events. Let's talk about it. What were you all's thoughts on the truck race? I'll start with evil man looking Arthur. What did you think about the truck race?
Evil man looking what?
Yeah, you just stand there and scream like, oh, I wish Jared would shut up. I got something to say.
I mean, I think that often, both on air and off, but that's not besides the point. I mean, yeah, it was an ass whooping. Like, what you want me to say? Like that? I'm not emotional about it. I kind of wanted Corey to win just because he felt like the best driver throughout the year. But then you get to this race and it really wasn't close, right? Like you had some restarts, maybe we had a chance, but when you lead 132 laps and the next closest guy is 16, like you deserve to win the race. I wanted Raj to run well, but I don't even think he finished with the top 10, right? So
he did not. He didn't even sniff it.
They were great for a while, and then that team kind of faded off the second half of the year. I need them to come back with a vengeance next year. But yeah, no, it's cool. I don't think anything negative about Ty, but I don't care about the truck series. I'll be honest. Like I root for Corey, I root for Raj, and I mean the rest of them are undefined to me. Generic driver number 8. So Yeah, good for him, but it's fine. It's cool. It's all. What would you say, Bonte? It's a dub. Man, I lobbed that up and he just watched it sail off the backboard.
That was on you. That was literally on you, buddy. Not my fault.
All right.
Well, I say, what'd you think of the truck?
Carl understands.
You're not going to escape.
Better than last year. Not too much chaotic. Well, it's literally not chaotic at all. Wisconsin boy Ty just whooped their ass. Literally. So congrats to him, first championship ever for him. What a like a little career comeback from him. Remember he used to drive the 60 car back in like 2018. That shit was cursed. That was cursed. If anybody remember that. But dominate the whole race. Proud of him. I thought Corey Haim was gonna win that championship because he been. Guess not. Nope. But it is what it is. Jared, wake the fuck up.
That's rude.
You were dozing off.
I'm not dozing off, brother. Cap. I'm reading. You should try it sometime.
Cap. I do read.
Jared, what'd you think of the truck race?
Ain't read that.
I know, right? You're talking about I can read. Meanwhile, like 20 minutes ago, I put in the chat, get me. I did not watch the truck race.
Hey, read that.
Oh my goodness.
It's a shame, boy. I'll tell you.
Skating right past that.
At my defense, I was painting this afternoon. I barely watched the cup race. I finished just in time.
What's that got to do with you reading something 3 minutes ago?
I didn't.
Did you inhale the
jagaloons?
Yeah, all those windows closed.
My phone couldn't catch up between the group chats, and I missed that message. I apologize. I'm sorry. We skip. Carl, what are you eating?
Right.
What's popping, bro? These are chili cheese and crackers from Buc-ee's.
Hey, Art, how he said he wasn't planning to be here, but he got his uniform on. That's crazy.
No, I straight up. No, I'm gonna be real with you, bro. I'm gonna be real with you.
Yeah, brother. Talk to me.
I fully planned on stopping and having a nice lunch in Nashville, and I was like, I'm gonna represent Nashville, NASCAR adjacent, tracks down the street. You know, I did. It was oh my god. Oh man, I was miserable. I went. Shout out Hattie B's, man. It's always a pleasure. But it's been so long since I've been there. I forgot the heat level that I normally get, and so it was too hot. And I was hungry too. I skipped breakfast entirely. I left the house this morning. I woke up at 5:15 a.m. I left the house at 7:30. I hit Nashville about 1 o'clock right thereafter. I had not ate all day. I intentionally did this. So I got food. I got food. You know what I mean? And I sat down. I said, "Damn, this is a little darker than I'm used to." I said, "I'll be all right." And I took one bite, and I was like, "Oh, well, I'm in for it." And I was trying to play it cool, man. So like, I had my phone in front of me, leaned against the cup, and I had my hands up like this. And I had the paper towel, and I was just like kind of like playing, like I was wiping my nose off and stuff because it was so hot I couldn't. I was like, man, and I didn't want something to quit it, so I didn't throw it away. So I got it to go box. I'm gonna try to eat it again. I'm gonna be just as miserable. But boy, I was fighting for my life on that. So, but anyway, I was like, yeah, I'm gonna be in Nashville. You know, I'm be in a cool part of Nashville. I've been to this specific location before. You know, a lot of foot traffic. A lot of folks live, you know, in the area that they walk. And I was like, I'm gonna wear the shirt in case somebody sees it, you know, and they want to, you know, it's a particularly left-leaning part of Nashville, you know. And so that's why I wore the shirt today. I did this for y'all, for us, you know. Even though I planned to not be here today, I was like, if I can get this one person to ask me about it. Did you? No. In the Nashville's an IndyCar town. Nashville's following, so.
A lot of plays.
I'm blaming it on that.
Did you watch the truck race?
I did, yeah. I did watch the truck race. I don't know where the hell I was, but I watched the truck race.
What were your thoughts on the truck race?
Yeah, man. I mean, you know, the same stuff I've been saying for a while, man. The truck series, to me, just doesn't really have a soul. But Tom Majeski, he showed up. He did what he had to do. You can't ask for a better race than that. As far as if you're the guy that is going in and you need to win the title to win the race, win the title. And I can respect a commanding performance like that, especially a guy. I don't know. In the last couple of days, my opinion on Ty has kind of soured a little bit. I kind of feel like the whole missing media day fiasco is a little weird. But you look at where this guy comes from, man. Local short track guy. Comes from iRacing. Got a shot in the 60 car, like Monte said, was cursed. And I remember watching that, and I was like, "There's no way that Ty there's no way that Ty progresses beyond this point, right?" I was like, Briscoe's going to be okay because he's Ford's guy. I was like, and I was like, Cindric's going to be okay because he's Penske's guy. But I was like, Ty's out of there, and for him to have found his footing and his niche, and especially in a series that's so hard when you don't come from money, he didn't bring a lot of money, he doesn't come from money, and so to have found that and to be successful and be a champion, I'm always going to root for a little guy. That's why I like that. That's why Saturday meant so much. That's why Friday was pretty cool to see. I would have loved it to have been Grant, but I guess so long as it wasn't Christian, I guess it didn't really matter. So. Yeah, I thought it was all right, man. It was just typical trucks in Phoenix almost. I'm glad it wasn't a farce like last year's race. I'm glad Carson Hocevar wasn't involved. So there's that. So
also,
which
sidebar before.
Yeah. No, go ahead.
I was gonna say shout out all these people that told me there was gonna be payback after Martinsville. Ain't see a lick of it. Right. I knew that was all hot air. I knew that was all garbage. Ain't nothing about to happen.
And you got to think too. I'm sure that some conversations were had in the holler about that, right? I mean, because last year, I think was a farce, right? I think that I think NASCAR in the last couple of weeks have acknowledged that they look at what people say about them, right? I don't remember who it was that made the comment about the damn legitimacy. I think it was Denny Hamlin on Actions Detrimental, right? Which that's that slap shoes video. So I'm sure that NASCAR and people inside of it look at what people say about it. And I know that somebody put out a video, I think Iceberg, about how that truck race is the worst NASCAR race ever. And so I think that they felt the temperature and they're like, look, we can't have that again, So they played nice. It was cool. It just kind of felt a little soulless, man. I don't know. The trucks, man, and I hate to say this, the trucks to me, unless it's on a short track or a road course, it's just kind of hard to watch now because the racing is so close. The equipment is all close. The personalities are just not there. I don't know, man. So from a racing standpoint, I wasn't crazy about it, but it was cool to see, like I said, a small guy win a title. So I'll say that much.
I just think it's funny that Christian Eckes acted all big and bad last week when he made that move to punt Taylor Gray to win the race. But in doing that, he allowed Ty Majeski, the short track merchant, an opportunity to race for a championship. Kind of makes you wonder if you get in the DeLorean, does he second guess that move or?
I talk about Truck Series personalities, man. I don't know, man. A lot of these guys are just they're not racing for tomorrow. They're just going for the moment. And that's why we have so many stupid things like what happened last year at Phoenix. And so I'm sure, I don't know, man. I don't know. Like I said, I just, that Majeski's, not Majeski, but Eckes' attitude post Martinsville is going to stay with me a long time because I think it echoes of a deeper problem in the Truck Series with how these young guys carry themselves. You can't be still wet behind the ears and acting like 2014 Kevin Harvick. You know what I mean? You can't act like you. I don't know. So anyway,
fair. Bonte, your thoughts?
Already did.
He already went.
Yeah, it was cool, you know what I'm saying? It was cool.
Move,
it was a dub.
Shout out to Wisconsin, boys.
What's that motion? All right.
Moving on. Next segment.
Next segment.
Next race.
Xfinity. Riley Hurst, redacted, bleep, 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 bleep. And wins the Phoenix race for Xfinity, giving Tony Stewart a walk-off win as he rebrands the shop next year as he takes his ownership stake away to go play in NHRA drag racing. And Justin Allgaier wins the Xfinity Championship. Now, I will say personally, I cried like a baby.
Mm-hmm.
I was in tears.
Yeah.
That was just everything he went through that entire race, and he tried to trick it. He tried to give it up. He tried to sell, did all the things, and still was able to come back, rough up Riley to make sure that he got in front of everybody to submit his championship. So Junior wins his fourth as an owner. Justin Allgaier gets his first in his 14-year season at in the Xfinity Series. I thought that he was going to say, "No, I'm done," during his post race interview, but he did say he did sign up for 2 more years, so he gets to do it again. I thought it was cool that the car that Junior ran at Bristol, where he finished top 5 in, Justin drove that car to win. So I guess looking at the vinyl wrap, he never switched to the backup car. They just fixed the primary because the wrap is still the same. For those of you who don't know, in Xfinity, if you have to switch to a backup car, you can't rewrap it. You just can put decals on the black car, a la Brandon Jones. So that was also a cool tidbit. They had some pictures showing how Justin Allgaier is like the greatest teammate because he was helping rewrap Brandon Jones' backup car for the race Saturday. So that was cool. But yeah, Justin Allgaier is your Xfinity champion. Thoughts, feelings, opinions on the Xfinity race. All right, Thurman, starting in with you.
I knew you were coming to me. I feel it in my bones.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this is the most quintessential. I've tried everything possible to give this away, and yet somehow it's come back to me. This is like, I don't know, like you took something down to like the donation center, and it's still, you came home and it was right back there in your front yard. Like that team did everything possible to not win a championship, and they still somehow did it. Whether it was mistakes, bad luck, bad pit stops, poor execution, like, I mean, you go down the checklist, and usually any single item would be enough to end your night, and they just found a way to overcome. And I'm on the one hand, I feel like a lot of the drivers that I've been picking to win, to fail, they somehow come back and have great ones. Like I wrote them off for dead after Bristol. I thought this team was going to be terrible going in the playoffs. But they really found a way to rebound. I don't mind admitting I was wrong because they earned it. I mean, I think out of all the teams that won this weekend, like they did the most work to earn it. And that's not a knock on the other teams. I think they just had to go above and beyond. So I just give a hats off to him, to everyone else who fought hard. Like, Cole was good for a lot of the race and faded late. AJ was up and down. Austin Hill, thankfully, wasn't too much of a factor. God, I thought Austin Hill was going to steal it out the back door at the end. Like, I was dreading having to come on here and talk about Austin Hill as a champion, but thank the Lord, like something went right for us this week in the world. And like, we got that one at least. But yeah, no, I feel like for Justin, this is a guy who seemed to be on the path of, being that lifer who never got it done, never got the big one. And for him to get this, I mean, I think this is a legacy cementer for him, right? Like he's done everything you could really ask in Xfinity. And for one reason or another, just never moved up to the cup level. So it's great. I think it's a huge accomplishment. They should be so proud of themselves. Like I said, not just for winning, but for how they won. It's one thing to go out and have the best car, like in the truck race, and dominate and win. It's another thing to have to scratch and claw and fight and be on the back foot the entire race and then find a way to get it done there at the end. So I just take my hats off to them. I think it's such an impressive win. They should be proud of it. And I love seeing Happy Dale Jr. I don't know why. Seeing Happy Dale Jr. is like seeing like a happy baby. It's just like they bring joy out of me because I enjoy seeing their joy. So it was great. He was carrying that flag around like, he was never going to let it go. So it was a great win. I think out of the three, this was my favorite title win. just because of the story. Like, I'll go back and rewatch this race in the off season. Like, I won't watch the other two, but I'll go back and rewatch it just to witness like how hard they had to fight to overcome all those mistakes. And yes, they're all self-inflicted, but I just think that's so impressive, right? Like the mental tenacity, you know, even going back to practice, right? They slapped the wall in practice, like Jared mentioned, and wrecked the car. So they absolutely earned it and they deserve it. And I'm proud of them. And I'm not an Allgaier fan, but I was very happy for them because of how they got it done. I was rooting for Cole Custer, but if you're going to go out there and perform like that, like, I'm not going to take anything away from you. Like, you absolutely earned this and you deserve it.
So we're just on Nora Carl's. No, never mind.
Yes.
We're gonna ignore it, and it's your turn to speak. Vontae, your thoughts on the Xfinity race?
It was actually not a bad race. Riley's getting better and better. Like I always said, this is second win. That was horrible. That was a horrible wink. His second win. Or you get it?
Don't steal my fucking bid.
Shut up, bastard. Anyways, his second win, like I fucking said. So happy for Riley. Justin, 7 championship 4 appearances.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot. And you finally got one from coming back from two penalties. Two penalties. Speed on pit road, and still it's a lap down, and still win championship. That's what a comeback. That's greatness. But cool race though, better than trucks. Yeah. Also, Carl, you suck. Anyways,
that's disrespectful. Carl, your rebuttal.
What do you say?
Yeah, give him the ball. Yeah.
What do you say? Fuck me for? That's crazy.
Talk.
Don't make me go Kendrick Lamar and bring
speak,
up
buddy. Speak.
Your baby mother and child that you're hiding.
You know what?
Don't.
You know what?
You got me fucked.
You know what? Flag of the play.
What's that lyric from Meet the Grams about hiding the child? Anyway.
Flag on the play.
What do I think? What I think about the Xfinity race?
Yes, please. The topic at hand. Get us back.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, I mean, that was cool to see Riley Herbst get his first win. I know he's been working really hard towards that. So I tweeted that last night, and people were like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "You guys obviously don't watch the sport. You don't know what you're talking about. It's fine. I'm here to correct you. It's okay." That was a hell of a drive by Riley, though. Admittedly, it's a shame that there's so much licensing snafu between Lionel and Monster and all those people, because that is effectively SHR's last win, and that would be cool to have. I guess I don't know if they're going to offer it or not. They may kind of bend the knee on that. Who knows? But for Justin, man. I was fighting to stay up last night. I was exhausted, and there was like parts of the race I woke myself up snoring because I was so tired. But I wanted to be watching the end of it because I wanted either Cole to go back to back, AJ to win his first, or Justin to win it. And to come back from 2 penalties to win the title and win the race, or not win the race, but to win the title. That's one of the greatest drives of all time, I think, in the Xfinity Series. I mean, it's a phenomenal drive. And, again, I think about Justin, I talk about Ty Majeski. The same with Justin, man. I mean, came from, literal nothing. His family had to borrow money to fund his ARCA efforts. I posted on Blue Sky today about how it started, because he was the 2008 ARCA champion. And he won that because Ricky Stenhouse and Scott Speed were morons. But regardless, so to go from that to all the ups and downs of his career, he was a Penske hopeful. That opportunity ended. Was over at Turner for a while. That deal ended. Like I said, went to Cup. and everybody was okay. He's going to be the next big thing there, and that deal didn't pan out like he did. Finally got to junior, and the floodgates opened. He'd won before at that point. Don't get me wrong, but it was Justin was just this guy where you really didn't know he was going to stay or if he was going to go because and so a long time coming. One of the hardest working guys, in the sport. I mean, a real down home guy. And I think you can tell the magnitude of that because Dale Jr. has been a winning Xfinity Series champion owner before. This is nothing new for him. But I think the emotion that he showed with Justin, this is somebody that's been a part of his program for a long time. This isn't like a Tyler Reddick situation or I don't know who else has won that deal with him. Chase Elliott. Did Byron win a title in the 9?
Yes.
In Xfinity. Yeah. And where Junior knew those guys were just passing through. There wasn't really a big tie or anything like tie for that. But for somebody that has been a mainstay of that program and has worked as hard as Justin has to finally get that knocked out. Yeah, I mean that's such a great story. You can't help but love it, and so I loved it. The racing was good. Austin Hill almost got it there at the end, but I mean Justin at the end was just doing everything he could, and he was going to send somebody firewall deep if he had to. I think he realized he was within grasp. He wasn't going to let it go again, and sometimes you got to have that. You got to have that moment. So. I love it. I can't wait for that race version to come in the mail in 9 months. Man, I don't have anything else to say about it. It was a good race. That's all there was to it. So shout out Riley. I hope he gets his plans for next year figured out because the way it's going right now, not only will there not be a 2311 third car, there will not be a 2311 come Daytona. So.
Allegedly.
Hey, not my monkey, not my circus. So,
Lord have mercy.
I'm telling
you. Now, before I let you speak, did you watch the Xfinity race?
I did not watch it. I watched like half of it.
How do you feel about Justin Allgaier winning the championship?
I think it's great. I think it's fantastic. I think there's no part of this that was a bad situation. I mean, and I really don't want it to be lost in all of the Allgaier-ness of it all. Stuart Haas and Herbst, taking that win, that's also very big. I really don't want that to be lost in this conversation. I think that is equal, maybe not equally as important, but it's very close to it. Because both situations very emotional. You guys have all said it. You have this guy who's been here 7 Final Four appearances and a 2-time runner-up. And I think one of those was last year too. So it's you could not have a guy who wanted or deserved it more, honestly. And similar to what Art said, seeing Junior run around the media center, all those videos all night posted of him just running around with that flag, that just brings so much joy to everybody involved. And everybody watching, even if you're not an Allgaier fan, even if you're not really somebody who watches Xfinity a lot, everybody loves to see Dale Jr. happy, exactly what Art said. Overall, I think that's a great finish. I think of the 3 races this weekend, I think this was the most exciting race. I had the most fun watching the parts that I watched. And I think in terms of the actual the finish being exciting and on top of NASCAR loves their story, this is really the best story possible. So I think of the 3 races, I think Xfinity kind of takes the cake for me in terms of how good it was.
Yeah, for sure. This was I guess I'll speak my piece since everybody seemed to have left us for refills. I'm gonna assume that's what they're doing. This was a really great race. Xfinity. There were a lot of natural cautions. There was a lot of malfeasance. I'm bringing that word back. What's the boy name? Leland Honeyman. Is that his name? Come on, bro. Come on, bro.
Yeah. Well, he got shunted. He got shunted by who was that?
Did he get shunted or
he got shunted by somebody? He was on his own. Yeah,
I promise.
I promise. He got shunted by somebody.
Come on, dog. Like that was.
Yeah.
I was yelling. Old man yelling at cloud was me last night when that happened. I was like, "Come on, dog! You about to ruin the greatness."
Yeah. Well, I knew one of those races was one of the three were going to come down to a late race caution, and the Cup cars don't race good enough for that to happen. So it was going to have to be Xfinity, and yeah, I mean, like I said, but with this system, man, it's just like sometimes, the chaos hits. I don't know, dude. Yeah, it was a little silly at times for sure. So
yeah, just proud of Justin Allgaier. Really proud of NBC. They didn't give Rally Herbst a lick of television time until they cut to the next football game.
Yeah.
So shout out to them for that, just for them capitalize on the moment. Because they made sure that Riley, we don't care that Tony's there. We don't care. No.
Oh, they interviewed him though.
Cool that Tony was there to at least celebrate the last win for Stewart House. I'll give a golf clap to Stewart House as an organization. They raced their last race today. They're going to show up later in a later segment of ours that everybody knows and loves. Carl probably knows why. But they're going to get some pullback. But
is it because of what I was talking about earlier?
It is exactly for what you were.
Because I was legitimately pissed off behind that, dude.
Exactly for what you were talking about earlier.
And I've got a key piece of thing to say about that too. Yeah, so exactly. Anyway, okay, yeah, for sure.
But yeah, just it's really cool. I wish that the court case didn't go how it went. I hate that all of the things I want to say about Riley are seemingly tied up in court, no pun intended. But he really has improved his 4 years with SHR. You can't say anything about he's talentless or anything like that. He took last night's win. He took that and made sure he ended on top. And I want him to be at redacted, but if he's not at redacted and he takes his redacted, then it is what it is. But just I know on the Cup side, SHR didn't get to do what they wanted to this season, but I'm glad that a driver still finished out on top. Obviously that team's not going anywhere. They're rebranding to Haas Factory team, but at least for what we know and love as SHR and the organization that is, they can hang their heads high that they got to win this weekend. So shout out to them. Shout out to Justin Allgaier. Shout out to Brent. They've been with Justin Allgaier for decades, bro. Like they've been riding for him in such a sponsorship heavy sport. So it's cool to see, a sponsor that's been with you for so long finally get their spotlight, finally get a championship.
Since 2012, I believe.
Yeah, they've been with him. It was cool that the VP of whoever he was there last night and he was all giddy. So it's cool to see sort of the started from the bottom. Now we hear moments, and last night definitely gave us that with Justin Allgaier. So he's a deserving Xfinity champion. That this we've endured some trash this NASCAR season, but that's one thing I can say that is definitely a hot front moment. And I'm glad that's a takeaway for this year's Justin Allgaier as your Xfinity champion. And now to the malfeasance today. The 500-kilometer race in Phoenix.
Won't it?
First off, I'm tired of this race car.
Yeah.
I'm tired of the tires. I'm tired of us having the best mile-and-a-half car in the history of NASCAR, and I'm tired of it not being used as our championship race. For Art to fall asleep 4 times, for Jared to catch a nap, for Bonte to just walk away and ignore it. This is a NASCAR Cup season championship. These are your most talented drivers. You should put your championship race on a racetrack that gives you the entertainment factor that you want. But I shouldn't have to wait till 10 laps to go with a teammate trying to chase a teammate to win and be like, oh yeah, this is good. They're cooking. It's very disappointing. The Phoenix race, it didn't do what it's supposed to do, and I've been telling you that all year. Phoenix has never won ever since they copied Richmond's garage layout. So until they apologize for what they did, they deserve all the tomatoes being thrown at them. But it ended up with Joey Logano winning another even series championship. Joey Logano is a 3-time Cup Series champion. Passing Carl's Lord and Savior Kyle Busch on the totem pole. Hopefully that car passes inspection because he didn't pass tech this weekend. So there's an outside chance he still cheated up.
There's no, there's a 100% chance that he was cheated up. There's a 0% chance they do anything about it. And for the record, that's not a Joey Logano thing. All of the Final Four cars are cheated the fuck up. 100%.
Oh, you gotta be. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody was cheated up, rightfully so. Joey's one got caught, failed twice. But Joey Logano is your Cup Series championship. Let's talk about it. Siri, no, I'm not talking to you. Please take your
Cup
lights
Series
off my phone. Bonte, you spoke first. Let's go first. What do you think about the Cup race?
You said Joey Logano is a NASCAR Cup Series championship. Said it twice, but anyway,
thrice times. Thrice.
Okay. I walked away. This shit was boring as hell. I'm gonna be honest. This shit was boring as hell. I hate this fucking track. This one of the worst. Literally one of the worst championship races I ever watched in my life. It was so bad. I went to pick and save in a third stage, and I give a shit who won. And Joey won. Congrats to him. But fuck this playoff system.
This shit, playoff system is
dog shit.
Oh, you made me miss my drop. All right, hold on. Before you speak, Bonte, I'm gonna go back. You didn't hear that.
What?
Alex Bowman hands Joey Logano his 3rd Cup Series championship.
Yep.
Bonte, talk about the race.
Yeah. What Jared said. Jesus Christ. I'm not.
Wouldn't it have been Keith Rodden handed him that because
who's that?
Alex Bowman's crew chief.
Yeah. No, the people in Charlotte got to take the rap for that. That's the people at the shop.
Yep.
Right. But that wasn't Alex Bowman's call. I mean, anyway, go ahead, Bonte.
You sure?
Look, Carla, that's too much logic for this topic.
I'm already done.
I'm done. The off season. Logic doesn't apply anymore. I don't care.
They're blinded by rage. This episode should have been called Misplaced Anger.
Anytime you combine Jared and Alex Bowman with this pod, we get in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
You get in trouble. Last time he opened his mouth about Alex Bowman, I didn't open my phone for a day. I didn't open Twitter for a day.
Nobody told you to go on the account. Nobody told you to try and save me. I said,
well, for what it's worth, bro, I didn't even know what you had done until it happened, and I was like, I
stood on it. Stand on business.
This motherfucker here, bro.
Bonte, were you done? I'm sorry. You were definitely speaking, and we stepped over you. I apologize.
No, you good. I said the race was so bad. I went to pick and save and get some food to cook.
You went to pick and save to get food and cook. What'd you cook?
Well, we cooked some chicken and some homemade macaroni and cheese.
Let it be known that it's a damn shame that Bonte stopped watching the NASCAR Cup Series Championship race to go cook fried chicken and macaroni and cheese.
He didn't say it was fried.
And cornbread.
And cornbread. It has to be fried if you got cornbread. Don't play me, Art.
Jesus Christ, Art.
I tried to give you it out. What you mean? Christ?
Oh, my God.
I tried to help you break the shackles of stereotypes, but look, all right, never mind. You got it.
Wow. Okay.
I tried to help you.
Kool-Aid. That's why he has Kool-Aid and Pepsi.
Oh my God!
I tried to help you. Brother.
No, I ain't even opened the Pepsi yet. I'm waiting to open that.
I thought
you're making my point worse.
But anyway,
roasted it.
But anyways, yeah, can't got a pick and say so Lane so close. Nope. I got one. I'm like, man, fuck this shit. Come off on and walked away. Fuck this race. Fuck NASCAR and fuck this playoff championship. We all tired. I'm sorry. We tired. I hate this fucking season. The season makes me want to gouge my eyeballs out because I hate it so much. I'm getting off topic. I'm done.
But you gotta think. It has to be gangster. This man went from webbed gloves to getting eliminated from the championship 4 to getting reinstated in the championship to the round of 8, winning his race to cement himself in the championship 4, and winning. Webbed gloves, kicked out, reinstated, champion. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Crazy. Also, we call it a Penske championship. We'll save that for later. Carl, your thoughts on Joey Logano's 3rd championship? I know you're gonna have some sass, so that's why I called you next.
Yeah, man. I mean, what can you say that hasn't been said already? Again, like I would have been perfectly okay with it if he had put in, even like half of like the regular season performance that his teammate did. I would have been okay with it had he advanced to the round of 8 just naturally. I would have been okay with it. I mean, Vegas to me is still kind of farcical, but it is what it is. I don't know, man. I think at this point, like, we keep talking every year about how, like, you shouldn't reward a guy that has not performed the best as being a champion, right? And, and yet we do, and we continue to do such. And it's maddening. I mean, William Byron, for what it's worth, and William Byron consistently every year, they have a great first 12 races. The second 12 races are nowhere to be found. And even William Byron, I feel like, is a much more deserving champion. Ryan Blaney. It really pissed me off that Christopher Bell wasn't in the Final Four because he put on a clinic today. Tyler Reddick. I mean, just I don't know, man. I don't know what it would have to feel, but it's like I said last week. I don't know that I've ever called a champion a Mickey Mouse champion. But, in years past, when you stack up regular season points, right, when people always do the what if, right? And so you'll always see like Winston Cup points versus, the playoffs. Speaking of, let me just say this real quick. There is a content creator that I have never heard say anything smart ever. In reference to NASCAR racing. He covers other types of racing, but he said, the other day that it is insane to say the word playoffs when you're referring to auto racing because you don't play auto racing. And that really, I mean, he's knowing about how I feel about it. I hate the system. I hate what we call it. I hate what we try to label it as. But anyway, every year there's, you say, okay, well, this is how it would have went if we had Winston Cup points versus what we have now. And every year the champion is like within 3 to 4 positions of the points lead, right? It may not be they may have not won it in that system, but they're close. This guy's not even in the top 10. You know what I mean? Of season long points. That's comical. I'm burnt out. This has been a long year. It has been a long year of farces. And the worst part about this is I know come Monday or Tuesday or Wednesday or even 7 days from now, right? 8, 9, 10 days from now, Elton Sawyer or Jim France or Steve Phelps, somebody's going to get in front of a camera and say the playoffs provide the best racing possible. This is the best product we've ever had. The fans love it. And that is so far from the truth. I have been a NASCAR fan for 20 plus years. Nothing has ever unified fans like the hatred of this system. I am hard pressed to find many people that when air blows by, there isn't a whistle coming out of their ears that like this system. And so it's just, it's run its course. It's not going to change. We're going to continue to be insulted for saying that it's bad. They're going to try to continue to find caveats and gotcha moments and X, Y, and Z. I don't know. Like I said, it's a black eye. Anyway, I didn't talk about the racing. I, for one, actually thought, again, that it was like Martinsville in that you had some cars that were able to make some things happen. Blaney's car was hooked up. Was loving the moves that he was able to make. I know it's because it's a championship race and things like that. So the racing aspect for me You know, it was good. I think this is the first race we've had all year that Jimmy Johnson wasn't in a smoldering heat by lap 10. So shout out to him for that. You know, I think Bubba put on a pretty good run today. And you know, I'm so glad that the year is over with for Kyle Busch. I hope they go back to Winston, North Carolina, because it just got to be different. They got to be away from everybody else in Charlotte. And I hope they tear every single car apart and they donate it to Toys for Tots, or they send it overseas with all of the William Byron and Tyler Reddick and Ryan Blaney championship hats like those kids in Uganda and stuff get. I hope every single piece from every single 8 car is on that same container ship, because I need something new for next year. So, yeah, that's about it.
Not a Uganda reference.
I don't know. That's okay.
Not that on my bingo card. No, I'm not upset.
You back.
Children in Taiwan. Yeah, no, I don't know where that stuff goes. Yeah, I don't know where that stuff goes.
It's going to.
You're not standing on business right now.
Haiti and Rwanda.
There we go.
Again, it's not bad. I just didn't expect that.
Yeah. So.
Jer.
I mean, honestly, overall, the race was a bit of a snoozer. I think we've said it a lot of weekends where the Xfinity race was the big showing of the weekend. And I think, you know, I said it earlier, it was the most entertaining package of the weekend. It was a good race overall, I guess. I think it's a damn shame that Bell was not in the Final Four, regardless of any of the race politics that played out in that. I think if you just look at how he ran his race, man, I'm sure he's upset today. But then, I mean, I think Byron even surprised me. I didn't expect to see him running up top as much as he was. Not that I didn't expect him to do well. I definitely didn't expect him to be, I guess, a dominating show as much as he was. But I mean, he put up a good fight. He, at the very least, he did what he came to do. He came in and proved that he deserved his spot. If nothing else, I was very happy to see that the Final Four were running together pretty closely the majority of the race. One thing I really dislike about the playoff system is when you have races, especially the last Final Four race, where each person is just spread throughout the field, and it doesn't really feel like much of a fight. So we had an actual fight today, which I think is good ultimately. There was entertainment in that, even if I didn't really enjoy the overall package of the race. It was good to not necessarily know who was going to win. I really appreciated that it came down to what felt like the last lap. Obviously very upset that Blaney did not get to defend his championship to the end, and that he didn't win it. But I mean, you know, when you look at the championship package, again, we talk about these storylines, as much as I dislike that the sport comes down to the storyline, I hate to say it, but again, you can't say NASCAR didn't get what they wanted this year. I mean, Jarrett really went through the whole Logano season of getting disqualified, having the stupid webbed glove situation, all of those things. And then to still come out on top and get your, even year win, dang, I really hate that NASCAR, it's working out in their favor in a way. At least it's giving them something to stand on. It's giving them something to say, well, look, it works. But then you have all these fans who are okay, maybe it works for media reasons. It's something that you can put articles about. It's something you can have a headline about. You can say these things that look really flashy and look really nice on Twitter. But when you're a, longtime fan, you're somebody that watches every weekend, it's disappointing to see people who maybe ran better throughout the season, not do very well. But I mean, overall, happy for Logano. I'm always happy for a Penske win. Ultimately, NASCAR just got what they wanted. That's how the weekend went.
All right, big dog.
Also, another angle up. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. Say what you gonna say.
I just now remembered that I think Logano is one of the guys that's participating in the Netflix series.
Oh, we never talked about
NASCAR.
that.
So NASCAR really got what they wanted.
Yeah.
Because was Blaney in that last year?
I think a
wasn't
little bit.
last year. She was looking with Gianna.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's our next segment. Thank you for bringing that up.
Okay. Well. So.
All right, Art, tee off. I know you about to tee off. Please tee off. Tee off.
Oh man, I tell you what, I feel so satisfied. I could not have asked for a better way personally and as a podcaster for this race to finish for a multitude of reasons. Number one, I was right because I said he was going to win. I came on this show and I said Joey was going to win. And we talked about the 2 Penske cars. And I said, this is a guy who has more experience. They're a more veteran team than the 12. That's not a knock on the 12. And I was right. And I love being right on the show. And I called it back when he made it to the next round.
We get it.
Shut up. I'm kicking you out the show. That's first of all. Second of all, I love mess. Marie Curro, I love mess. I love the fact that there is this outrage over the playoff system. And I said on here before, I need the messiest playoff system possible. I need the Bane, Batman, backbreaker of the playoff system. And I think we might have gotten one with this. As far as Phoenix goes, I'll start with that. I hear that the on-track atmosphere, the fan experience is wonderful. I've never been. I think that's great. That doesn't mean that this race should be the championship. If you want to make this the round of 16 cutoff, that's fine. I'm fine with it being a cutoff race for that, but it should not be the championship. I mean, we've gone over this ad nauseum at this point. Like, there's no way you're going to sit here and tell me that this race would have been better than Homestead. Homestead just gave you a top 5 finish of the season. And yeah, I literally fell asleep 4 times during this race. Like 4 times, which is that's a peak. That's the most I've ever fallen asleep in a NASCAR race. So that's the first thing. What I did watch wasn't that great. At one point I said, damn, this is kind of boring, ain't it? Like they just kind of running around in circles. These types of races fill the stereotype of these are just cars going around in circles. Because I didn't feel like there was a lot to watch. There was some pit strategy. And yes, there's always like the risk of one of the title drivers wrecking. Reddick made some really aggressive moves, which was great. I thought Blaney was going to catch Logano. It seemed like he was on his way to, but couldn't at the end. All of those things are fine, but I mean, those are small nuggets to find in a 3.5 hour broadcast. So that's the positives, I guess. In terms of the outcry that's happening on Twitter and on Instagram and everywhere, I just want to say, people, your anger is misplaced. The 22, and I like Joey, but I'm not a Joey stan, so I'm not gonna bullshit like I am. But the 22 did nothing wrong. He played the rules as they were given to him. NASCAR always says, and these playoff defenders always say, oh, well, they knew what the rules were when they started, which is a stupid ass argument. First of all, like, that's stupid as hell, but whatever. Acting like the teams and the drivers have agency in the rules being made, but whatever. We all need to turn our attention to Daytona, Florida and Charlotte, North Carolina and throw our outrage there. Well, we all just need to take our anger at Joey Logano that you might have and put it to NASCAR.
It's that Patrick Star meme.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, why don't we think about move it somewhere else? Yeah.
Like, do not take your tiki torches and your pitchforks to Penske headquarters. We take them to NASCAR headquarters because that's where your outrage belongs. This is a stupid system, but you know what? To the 22's credit, he got his shot and he ran the course and was able to get exactly what he wanted to. I was personally rooting for Blaney more so than Logano. I really wanted Tyler to win, but that was clear that car was not going to be good enough to do that. But yeah, like if you tell me, okay, these are the parameters you have to do to win a championship, driver does the parameters to win the championship, you don't get angry at them. You get angry at whoever made the parameters. So I pray that there is an outroar at NASCAR over this, and I hope that it leads to some change, because otherwise, like, I'm not watching next year. I can't watch this bullshit for another year, for 38 weeks out of my life. That's a lot of damn hours watching 3 races a weekend. Like, I can't do that, bro. I can't do it. So I love it. I love the messiness. Shout out to Logano fans. Shout out to Penske fans. Y'all eating again. I mean, they went back to back to back as an org. I don't think anyone other than Jimmy did that with the last one for an organization to go back to back.
Yeah. Which how insane is it that, like, Hendrick has not won a title in the next-gen era.
I mean, it's clear. Like, it's just so clear. Like, the Fords have figured something out, and they just, I don't know whether it's the types of tracks late in the season where the schedule lines up, but they just have clearly figured something out. Like, they can just get a win and just bullshit for the rest of the season, and they just turn it on late. And yeah, I mean, even with Ryan again, did the same thing, right? Like, he won at Martinsville last year, came back, did again this year. So, like,
right.
What can you say?
Let me ask you this real quick, Art. Do you think that Penske has a unique advantage because they only – I don't want to get massacred for this – because they only have 2 consistently competitive cars?
You got to relax.
No, they do. No, he's right. No, he's absolutely right.
I mean, look, Austin is coming into his own, and that's fine. I don't want to –
No, he's not.
You know.
I'll say it. No, he's not. I'll say it for you. Look, you afraid. I'll say it for you. Look, Austin Cindric is – I'll answer your question. I'll keep going. Austin Cindric is a competent NASCAR driver at the top level, which means he is in the top 1% of drivers. I will never take that away from him. But in that top percent, he is run of the mill. He is a ham and cheese sandwich with mayo on it. He is average at best. Okay, like this man won a race because the first and second place drivers didn't reach the finish line twice. Like, don't sit here and tell me that this dude's some wheel man. But you know what? That's fine. Like, he deserves to be there. But, like, I don't want – not one person better come to me. If you go in my DMs talking about Austin Cindric, like, I'm putting you on blast. The screenshots are going live. Like, don't do it. But to answer your question, I do think that plays a role because Penske's not some mom and dad, shop, right? Like, they have all the money and resources that an HMS does or a Gibbs does. And I mean, they're the premier Ford team for a long time. So I do think that you might be onto something there. Like, it might be a case where the other manufacturers, the top teams and the other manufacturers are spread too thin. But I just mean, at this point, you have to expect it within this car, the way it's currently designed. Once is a happenstance, twice is a coincidence, 3 times a pattern. Like, they've done it like more than 3 times when it comes to clutch wins in the playoffs. Like, that's why I picked them, because I said they've shown me nothing to prove that they wouldn't do it. And then they straight up just went and did it again.
I mean, because Jeff Burton said last week that, he doesn't worry about Penske in the regular season. He worries about them in the playoffs. And let me know when you're done. Guys, something else I want to say real quick.
No, I'm just gonna say I just love the way this ended. The only way this would have been better for me as a fan with my heart, like I said last week, was for Tyler to win, and I really wanted that. But my analytical, my hope for the future, like a Tyler win does not alter the future of NASCAR. Joey's win and the potential public outcry that might come of it may cause long-term change. And so I'm happy with that. And like I said, if you're a Penske fan, eat up. Like, you deserve it. So
I absolutely don't think that a Joey win changes anything. I think NASCAR, the comments from leadership this last week have really echoed that they have a much more profitable time marketing the playoffs. I think that they're able to sell it more and sell it for more money. And so I don't think they're going to make any changes anytime soon. I wish, and I also want to say this though, because Art touched on it a bit. NASCAR has given these teams and these drivers the format, and they said, this is what you have to do to win. This is how you become a champion. These are the rules we've set forth. And if you go by those rules and you win the title, good for you. I am not knocking the performance of Joey Logano today. I'm not saying that Joey Logano didn't go out and execute the objective that NASCAR has set forth on this day. He did. What I'm talking about just overall is just again, what we've talked about several times on the show. It's not the team's fault. It's not the driver's fault. I mean, it goes back to NASCAR and leadership. I mean, it's just like I said. I mean, so when I ridicule this, I'm not ridiculing the driver or anything like that. They did what they had to do, but it's just like, how much more can you take? Because it's just Lay Diffie, he listed all the titles that Penske's won this year, and And they won the WEC title in the hybrid class, I think, and they won IMSA and something else. And anyway, but in those two, they had to straight up go out and be the best weekend or race in and race out and win or whatever. And so what is just maddening is that should apply to the premier racing series in America. Draws the biggest crowd, the biggest purse, is on TV the most out of the year. Though they should follow the same rules as any other. I don't know. I'm just at a loss. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to come off as a Joey Logano hater. Like, yeah, I don't like him at all. And I've given him his flowers before. I've said on Twitter several times that I think he is one of the most, this year I don't consider, but I've said before that I think he's one of the most talented drivers, in the field. But so I'll give him his flowers. But it's just like, it's just maddening that it's just come to this, that you have this storyline that they're going to look back on, and NASCAR is going to say this is one of the greatest championship drives of all time because he went from being outside of the round of 8 to being the title. And I'm like, my brother in Christ, you created that storyline. You manufactured that. It's not like, it's not like an Alan Kulwicki situation where they went into the last race of the year and everybody, there's 5 guys that could have won the title, and you had an underdog that won because they weathered the storm. This is something that you've manufactured to happen. So it's just why it's just insanely maddening. I don't know. But yeah, like I said, so when I talk about all this, I'm not necessarily talking about like Penske and their effort. They did what they had to do. They obviously have hit on something right because they have knocked it out of the park in round of 8 and round of 4 the last 3 years. But it's just a NASCAR thing.
Yeah, and like the last thing I'll just touch on, and then I'll give up the mic, is that like you mentioned, I think of Joey. I mean, to me, he's a top 10 talent, easy. Like, yeah, I think he's probably closer to maybe 7th, top 7, I don't know if he's top 5, but I think he's in the top 7 of like most talented drivers in the garage. And so this wasn't, some complete back marker doing this, right? This wasn't a complete fluke necessarily in terms of the on-track performance. Now, yes, they've got the most golden of horseshoes dropped in their lap from the 48's issues, but they still had to go out and win, which if what I've been told is to be true, then winning is the only thing that matters. And they did it, and they won twice out of the last 4 races. So I just feel like, and again, like the fact that they've done this before, like multiple times, like I don't take anything away from them because of the fact that this is the system that they've been in. And, like even when his wins in the regular season, like it wasn't like a Cindric where like I was running 3rd and 1st and 2nd, literally ran out of gas in the last 2 laps and I passed him to win. Like I have too much of a high opinion of the 22 team as a whole to think that they were just a complete ultra fluke. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, if you want to be angry, you want to be upset, that's who you need to go talk to, because you can go talk to NASCAR because they made this. Like, I'm all for, I've said before, some kind of revamped system. You go back to the 04 chase system. I'd love a full season, but I'll take an 04, chase points reset if I have to. They set the table, and the 22 team sat down in 8. So like, that's who you need to be mad at.
I mean, genuinely, you can't be mad at Joey. Be mad at Alex Bowman. Place blame at Alex Bowman. Place blame at Hendrick Motorsports. Place blame on HendrickCars.com. Blame Hendrick. Everybody's trying to blame Alex because he hit that turtle and went like 3 feet in the air and his car slammed to the ground and that threw it off weight. No. That car was treated up long before it got to Charlotte.
Yeah, I mean, they admitted.
Hendrick.
Yeah, Rick admitted that they owed him an apology because they miscalculated whatever. And
yeah, blame
it's pretty much the exact same way that George Russell lost Spa was how that happened to Alex Bowman, where they miscalculated what the end weight was going to be.
Yep. So. Hey, fuck Mercedes, Petronas F1 team. Sorry, we left. First, before I speak, let's raise our glasses. We're 84 days away from Fox taking over our televisions again, and I'm very, very sad at that, but we're going to cheers anyway.
Hide your kids.
So for me, I mean, with all the storylines going into the race, it was still a good championship race, I feel like. I mean, does the inner NASCAR fan wish Homestead was a championship race? Sure. But just to see I wouldn't even call it adversity, but you just look at the season Joey Logano had. 17.11 was his average finish. And he's breaking NASCAR record books as being the most trash champion we've ever had. And it's not his fault. It's the playoff system. And, Art and I talked about it. When he won Las Vegas, we said he was going to win a championship. And yes, of course, I got 23-11 on. I wanted Tyler to win it just because of the court case, but Penske has figured something out. They've won 3 championships in a row with 2 different body style cars. I don't know what's going on in the shop, and I don't care. They breed success. You won NASCAR, you won WEC. Did they win the IndyCar title too? Fact check me.
No, they did. They did not get. I believe Ganassi won that.
Ganassi won that,
but they won a lot.
They won a lot. They won the 500 with Newgarden.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so Penske had a banner year. I will say that.
The success that this team has had across 3 different manufacturers is insane. 3 different manufacturers.
Yeah.
And they've had a cataclysmic year. You got to give it up to them. They're a powerhouse. I mean, I'm not even mad that Penske won. Like, I knew they were going to win. They had a 50% shot at it. I wish it would have been Ryan, but I'm not mad at Joey for it. It's not Joey's fault that he got, placed back into the playoffs after Hendrick got caught cheating. He maximized his opportunity. And that, to Art's point, he's Team Chaos, and that's Team Chaos. If you're going to let a championship driver and a championship team get back in the playoffs when they thought they were eliminated, you think they're just going to show up and just like, oh, I'm just glad to be here and wave? No. We're winning. And that's what happened today. They won.
Well, I mean, even if you just look at I know this is not out of the ordinary for a team of their caliber, but even if you look at just how they handled the Jackman situation tonight, that was seamless. Yeah. It did not seem like any of those teams neither of those teams missed a beat. That was a plan that was put in place. That did not seem like a decision that was made on the fly. This is clearly this is a team that has plans A, B, C, D, E, and F all the way down the alphabet, and not the way Ferrari does in Formula One.
Absolutely.
They actually gotta get the dig in. They have these plans, and they execute every single one of them down the line flawlessly. This is a team that knows how to win a race, and in NASCAR, that's all you got to do. You have to win these strategic races, and Penske does that so well. Penske does that incredibly well. Again, they won the 500, and that was a back-to-back win. This is a back-to-back-to-back championship in NASCAR. Not the same driver, but it's the team. This is a team that knows how to win.
Well, even to Jared's point, we say it every fucking time we go to Daytona and Talladega. The tracks where it involves teams working together more so than anyone, they're always at the front. They always find a way to get lined up 1, 2, 3 on a row. And they now, does it always work out for them in the end? No, but they are always in position to have a shot at it. Mm-hmm. Right. I think about, what was it? McDowell's 500 win, right? They were 1-2 on the straightaway at the last lap. Again, it doesn't always work out for them, but the fact is every single time we see them up there, HMS does a great job, but they're not at that level. God knows any combination of Toyotas you put out there, they're not at that level. They always just find a way to put themselves in that position. And like Jared said, it's not a coincidence. It's not a fluke. So yeah, I just give them full credit. If your goal is to win a championship, and that's your main objective, they've done it now 3 times in a row. They're clearly better at this than everyone else. And whether you like it or not, you just have to accept it, and you hope your team gets better. it's so impressive to me because like it would be so easy for them to be selfish. And, it'd be so easy for Ryan to mess up or get loose, but like they never really had any big missteps this year. But like Jared said, like they clearly have planned for everything. So it's a skill problem, I guess, for the rest of the garage. They got to figure it out. The schedule's not going to get any better for you. It's still going to be these same tracks late in the year.
Sorry, I'm dying. Phil has a question for us. He wanted to know who has the most geeky haircut in the garage.
It was I can answer it. It was what's his name?
It was Noah.
Talking about Noah? Oh yeah,
with the bowl. Yeah, it was Noah by a mile. Phil.
That was last year though. Yeah. I guess if Kyle Busch is still balding, I guess he would win that.
You better call Joey. Joey got his hair back.
Chase Briscoe.
Man, what a year for Joey, right? He changed his life around this calendar year.
So many comebacks, like personal and professional.
Don't forget about Chase Briscoe.
Yeah, Chase.
What about Chase Briscoe,
brother?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they calling you home, Chase. They
it's
the chair's calling you home.
Personally, I know we were talking trash about it, but I'm really excited about this year's report card episodes when we drop those, just because I do want to give Chase Briscoe his flowers. I don't know why I'm feeling sentimental about SHR closing. Like I talk shit about this every week. Y'all know me. Like, I'm a hater, but it's crazy that the climate of the sport is ending. A championship team's reign in the sport. It's kind of sad. Well. Anyway, we move. We've all said our thoughts about the race. Our next segment. Thank you, Jared, for reminding me. Your boy, Mr. Popular, Mr. Most Popular Driver, Chase Elliott was like, "Nah, to hell with Netflix. I'm on a Peacock special." What do we feel about Chase Elliott being like, "Nah, fuck y'all. I got my own. I'm not gonna be in Netflix this year."
Yeah, I'll go first on that.
Damn.
Oh my God! Please.
Can I hang on?
Oh, please. Go ahead.
Because we forgot it last week.
Go ahead.
No,
I'm a dog chomping at the bit to go. Please.
I've got thoughts on thoughts on thoughts on thoughts.
Mm-hmm. Look, man. I'm gonna just say this, bro. You are a fucking athlete. You sell easily 7 figures in merch every year. I fully understand that people want to come to your defense and say, well, he didn't ask for the limelight. Okay, cool. He wanted to be in racing. He wanted to be a Cup driver. His father is who? The guy that was voted the most popular driver the most times before Dale Jr., right? He beat out Dale Sr. as the most popular driver. So you knew what was going to come with it. And I'm sorry to say this, but I feel like if fans are showing up in droves to watch you race or tuning in each week to watch you race, my brother in Christ, when you broke your dumbass leg or when you got suspended because you had a little hissy fit with Denny Hamlin and you was gone for a week, Fox dedicated a whole ass graphics package to you coming back the following week. Didn't give a damn about Corey LaJoie being in your car. Did not care one lick, which rightfully so, because who should? But what I'm saying.
Oh no, he went on mute. No, come back.
You have to play. I know. I had a phone call. I got to go in a second. You have to play the fucking part. I'm sorry. If you don't want to, you can vacate that ride because, like I said, Junior played the part. Your father played the part. It just is part of the sport. Any sport's most popular athlete has to be forward-facing. They're part of the brand. They have to do that. LeBron James does it. I don't follow the NFL enough to know who did it, but Tom Brady did it for a long time. So did Peyton Manning. I know good and damn well. Joe Montana didn't want to do those Skechers commercials, but he did it. Look, man, I understand you want your privacy. You're on the road 50 weeks a year. I get it, bro. 40 weeks a year, whatever. I get it. But this is a consumer-driven sport. End of the day. You know what I mean? You got to do what you got to do, man. So so spare me the deal or whatever, like I said. But anyway, I love it. I got to make a phone call. I'll be back. I don't know if it's going to kick me out of here or not. So I'll be, but yeah.
I'm gonna go next because Jared's on mute, and I have to get at this. This is part of the job. Like, to Carl's point, this is part of the job. I'll tell you this: when he liked buying those planes he likes to drive in the off season and his off weeks, he likes to be able to fly to Charlotte from Atlanta or wherever the hell he lives in Georgia. Who you think paying for those, bro? Like, who you think paying for those? Like, there's a reason why. Like, I guarantee you, he loves to get those merch checks. I guarantee you, he got a smile on his face when that Lionel check comes in, when that Fanatics check comes in. So if you want all of the accolades, you want all of the financial rewards that you deserve, like, you've earned these by being so talented at your profession, there is a cost that comes with this. And I'm not saying you need to have a live stream in your home 24/7, but the idea that you can't dedicate 10 weeks of 2 hours a day being on camera, whatever it looks like, is so ridiculous to me. I think it's so short-sighted, and I don't want to use the word selfish here, but it's so short-sighted to not recognize the importance of your role. And, you know, I think back to, we always talk about, we go back to the 2000s and, you know, the 90s. Jeff Gordon's talked about it, like on the download, he talked about it. He didn't necessarily want to go out and do Saturday Night Live. Like, that was not his cup of tea. He was not a known actor, but he went out there, he did it anyway, because he understood the importance of his role being a face of the sport. Did Dale Jr. want to go out and be on a fucking Jay-Z music video? Maybe he did, maybe he didn't, but he still went out there and did it because he recognized the importance of getting his face out there in front of people that don't watch the sport. Because if everyone leaves the sport, my guy, the checks ain't coming. The checks are not going to keep coming. Those helicopters and those planes you love to buy are going to get a lot less nice because you're not going to be able to afford them. I cannot stand it. And I totally understand, like, if you're an introvert, like I've been introvert and I like my time away too. But you know what? If I'm getting checks with 3 commas in them, you can fucking come follow me for a couple hours a day. Like, I got zero problem with it. And there's a responsibility that comes with being the face of a league. And every sport has it. You know, like Carl mentioned, like Tom Brady, Michael Jordan, like all of these guys are like the face of their sport. They understand the responsibility that goes beyond the 3 hours that they perform their sport. You know, Blaney does it. Like, he goes out and does press. Bubba does it. You know, Denny does the podcast or whatever to get eyes on the sport. Like, my God, they're not asking you to go out here and, you know, tap dance on Broadway. They just want to follow you around for a couple hours every day. Like, it's so frustrating to me. And like I said, you want all of these words, like the idea that you can just show up and drive and go home, buddy, those days are gone. Like, those days were gone when you turned 18, you know, when you were 17. Like, you should have gotten a fake name if you want to do that. If you want to be anonymous, this is the wrong sport for you, my guy. You need to go take up cricket or something. Like, over there, that no one's going to know who you are. But if you want to be a NASCAR driver with the last name Elliott, racing for the most famous team, you're going to have to do some shit you don't want to do. And I just think it's so stupid to me, the fact that you just are refusing to do it. And like I said, these are the requirements that come to help. Like, there are things that are bigger than the sport that you have to be a part of. And just the constant refusal from the most popular driver is so frustrating to me. Like, I just don't get how these people love this guy when he has the most, burnt toast attitude. Like, he is so uninteresting to me. And I don't need you to be everyone to be Denny or Kyle Busch at his peak and like trying to like start fights or Tony Stewart, but like, you got to come and do something. Like, you have to do this. And it's just so frustrating because these types of decisions selfishly hurt the growth of the sport. And like, again, attendance ain't the best, ratings ain't the best. They'd be touting them a lot more louder if they were better than what they are. So it's just so aggravating to see. And, you know, I get that you've got his stands that will follow him to the ends of the earth, but if you want those checks, my guy, like, it comes with work. You know, I show up at my job. I get paid a whole hell of a lot less than him. I got to get on these Zoom calls. I turn on the damn camera. I don't want to, but I fucking do it because it's part of the job. So I don't understand it, man. I don't understand how Jeff Gordon hasn't sat him down if he hasn't and been like, look, bro, you need to do this shit. Like, you got to do this shit. And maybe they had that conversation. He pushed back on it, but it's just frustrating. Like I don't get it. I don't get it. It's so stupid. And like, the marketer in me is just screaming from the top of the hill saying like, what are you doing? And the thing is, like, this only helps you. right? Like, I don't care how boring you are. If you're on TV at Netflix, no one's going to look at you and not be a fan. Like, no one's turning away from you, rather. Like, you're not going to lose fans by being on Netflix. You can only gain them. So it's dumb. It's selfish. I don't like it. It's a very privileged take when you're, again, the most popular driver in the sport. You sell the most merch. I see you have 25,000 items on Lionel's website every year, and you can't be on camera for 3 hours a day for 10 weeks. Like, come on. Like, you got to give back something other than the 3 hours on track when you're in a car with a helmet on. So,
I mean, NASCAR, preaches growth to us, every week. The sport's growing. Oh, look at our ratings, blah, 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 this and that. And, our co-host who isn't here, Kiana, the last time we had a touch on this, she spoke about how, drivers used to be in the public spotlight and they wanted to shy away from it. They were on SNL, they were on daytime TV, they were on The Young and the Restless. They were front and center, mainstream media. And shame on, Chase Elliott, because he's the most popular driver. He's a household name. Everybody know who he is. Everybody screamed and cried when he won his first race at Watkins Glen. And in order for the sport to grow in the manner of which the sanctioning body preaches to us, you need your most popular driver out here being the face of the sport, whether he likes it or not. He's the face of the sport, and the sport can't grow to the heights that, the sanctioning body preaches to us about unless he's playing ball. You gotta play ball, dog. We don't care about Peacock. We don't care about Peacock. People pay for Netflix. Netflix is bigger. Netflix has a much bigger viewing audience than Peacock does. Half the people who have Peacock don't even realize they have it free with Xfinity. They're not watching it. All they care about Peacock is the Office reruns. That's all they put two and two together about.
Strong at the bottom.
Sorry. Yeah, but just shame on Chase, bro. Like, come on, dog. Like, I know you broke your leg snowboarding, but come on now, that was your leg, not your brain. Use your brain. Use your head. Help the sport grow, dog. Just lights too bright, even though they're not my lights too bright this year. But
I'm tired of your art.
All right.
That was really random and off topic, but whatever. We move. Next topic of discussion.
Well, hang on. No, not next topic. I have so many thoughts. Y'all have not given me a moment.
Oh, Jared didn't speak. I thought Jared talked about
my bad.
I'm sorry.
But look, make the apology as loud as the disrespect.
Thank you.
Here's the lob, Jared. Now dunk it.
Thank you.
Dunk
Thank you.
Lob. We're going off the backboard. Dunk the lob.
Jesus. So I am, I guess, the dissenting opinion. Not that I don't think that Chase Elliott needs to be doing more, but I don't think it necessarily needs to be Netflix specifically. Like, I want to be so clear that this conversation is about the Netflix situation, but I think if he was doing more outside of the sport, if he was doing yes, maybe this man is, I'm introverted, I don't want to be in the public light like this. He also grew up as his father's son. He's not just racing as his father's son, he grew up as his father's son. And not everybody is Dale Jr. That's just a fact of life. It is also a fact of life that, again, you are your father's son and you're in this sport and you have the name that you have. And that means it comes with extra things, unfortunately. I just don't think that means that he needs to open up his life to Netflix. Netflix is so invasive. And then you look at specifically the Formula One season, you look at Max Verstappen and Lewis Hamilton saying, no, I don't want to be a part of this. That is just as bad. And I don't see people getting angry at them the way that they're angry at Chase Elliott today over this. Who's to say that when he did the Peacock series, he realized he didn't like that, I think if you are somebody who's really introverted and if you don't want to be in the public eye, if you don't want to have all eyes on you, spotlight, what have you, yes, you chose the wrong career, but also this is what you're in and there are other options. He could be doing print interviews that have a photo spread or something if he doesn't want to be on a television show. I don't expect everybody to go out and do SNL, but he could do like a late night spot here or there that's like a 5-minute interview. Like there are things he could be doing that are not Netflix. I just don't think that we should be putting all of our like eggs in this Netflix basket just because of how invasive it can be. And like, yeah, I mean, you look at specifically you look at the Formula One shit show, frankly, of like the Liberty Media situation, like that is a lot to ask somebody to do. And I think that's a very new thing to ask somebody to do. You know, and these drivers in the 90s and early 2000s, they were on these things that were like streaming wasn't prevalent the way that it is now. Like Netflix existed, but did not exist. It was DVDs in the mail, you know, like this is an entirely new thing to ask somebody to do. And I don't think it's fair to say that this is like a hard and fast rule that somebody has to follow. Yes, he could be doing more. Yes, he should be doing more. But I don't think it has to be Netflix. I think that specific thing we're getting stuck on. And I just think I think the broader conversation is Chase Elliott maybe just needs to do more in general, not he needs to do this one very invasive show where he has no control over the storyline and assumedly no control over how he's portrayed. Because again, like you look at Lewis and Max in Formula One and how they came out the other end of that, like they're Max Verstappen, like I'm not a Max fan necessarily, but like he's still working to fight against some of those perceptions. And so is Lewis Hamilton. So I don't disagree with him putting his foot down and saying, I will not do Netflix specifically. But again, broken record, like dude just needs to be like, if it's not his thing to be in front of a camera, then yeah, somebody needs to sit him down and be like, okay, cool. But here are these other things that I need you to do that are not getting in front of a camera.
Jared, let me say, I have two small counters. I don't think you're wrong necessarily, but I have two small counters. The one is that NASCAR, Formula One doesn't have the audience crises that NASCAR does. Like Formula One is going across the world and selling out tracks that are bigger than the NASCAR ones. Like, yes, Drive to Survive is a huge success for them in terms of growth, or especially in the US, but they don't have like, I don't watch any Formula One broadcast and see them half filled as I see at some NASCAR races, right? Like I just think they're not in the same place in terms of audience growth. But I get what you're saying about like, don't worry about the perceptions. But the second part is Chase Elliott would not be, you know, some shrinking violet, some victim in like the negotiations for like his time. Like he could easily say, okay, you can only follow me at the shop for these hours of the day. Like you can't come in my house. I don't want people to see what my house looks like. Netflix isn't going to say, well, no, we don't want that, Chase Elliott. They'd be like, okay, that's fine, Chase Elliott, because we know people are going to watch you because you're so popular. So like, I feel very confident without knowing any of the details, but that he would be able to set the terms of how much inside access they would have, right? Because not everyone had the same level of exposure in the show,
right?
Right. Like I think Blaney had more. I think Byron had a little bit more. And I'm blanking now, but everyone wasn't getting the full level of time. And, you know, like everyone's not in their house watching them make Legos like William Byron was, which is cool. But like he could have made some terms and they would have accepted it, right? Like I don't think they would have been like, okay, now Chase Elliott, we're gonna follow you for all the 16 hours you're awake, and like we're gonna watch you brush your teeth and like take a shit. Like they're not gonna be that level of invasive. So yeah, I just feel like they would have been able to bargain and be like, this is when I'm okay with it, this is when I'm not, and they would have taken it. But I get what your point. I don't think you're wrong necessarily.
And I don't disagree with what you're saying, but I do also wonder, and I'm not saying this is right, but I do wonder if him doing the Peacock special, like if he kind of just thinks he's done his time, and if he kind of just feels like, well, I've done my thing, I did this, you got what you wanted out of me, here you go, what are you asking for? Like
That's fair.
And I think part of it does come with, like I said at the beginning, where it was like, he is his father's son and he had to grow up as his father's son. And I'm sure there's an element to that. Like, I also wonder if there's a little bit of the, like, why do you need me to be like front and center? If you already know who I am, you know what I'm capable of. Like, I come in, I show out, I do what I'm supposed to do, and I go home. Like, when it comes to also like being voted as most popular driver, like, yeah, he has his father's legacy, but like, the weekend that this conversation was happening, one of the things that really frustrated me the most was seeing like Chase Elliott fans say the most ridiculous things about why they voted him to be the most popular driver. There were multiple tweets I saw where somebody with their full chest was like, oh yeah, I like that he shows up and races and goes home. That's the old school vibe I like. That's why I voted him to be the most popular driver, is because I don't fucking hear from him. Like, right. What does that even like? It is not this man's fault that his fans put him in a position that he not only did not ask for, but seems to have made it very clear he does not want any part of. Like, that is just like, again, there's the whole situation of what's good for the sport, bad for the sport, etc. But like, ultimately, I just think this is a man who's in a situation that he never expected or requested to be in. And yes, I mean, he's not doing as much as he could be doing. Like, again, like I said, he can do print interviews. He can do all these other things. He could do things that are putting him in the sport like forward that aren't being on Netflix. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, like if your fans are straight up saying like, I voted for you because I don't hear from you ever, and I think that's cool. Like, that's ridiculous. Yeah. Like, you have to see the insanity of that.
Yeah, I mean, if he came into the Cup Series and didn't know what he was getting into, then he's either extremely naive or he got really bad people around him. Because you, like you mentioned, are like your father was like a 13-time most popular driver. You're a legacy driver. You're going to the most popular team, and don't forget, he took over Jeff Gordon's car. Like he started out in the 24. Like, you were the heir apparent for one of the Mount Rushmore of most popular drivers in his own era. Right. So like, you were never going to be able to hide in the background. Like I said, if you wanted to hide in the background, you needed to take up, welding or something. Like, that's a job where you can like be in the back. But like this job with that name, like whether you like it or not, like you're gonna be under such a bigger microscope. And like I said, is it fair? Maybe, maybe not. But like the perks that come with it, you have no problem taking them. So you can't have it both ways. But anyway, that's all I gotta say.
Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being here. We're not done yet. I just want to say, as we approach the 2-hour mark of us being live,
I'm gonna say, how do we manage a 2-hour show?
I'm sleeping.
Because just know, at the end of the rainbow, one of you beautiful people is taking home
we gotta do that.
The dual scheme McDonald's Dr. Pepper rear quarter panel from the Bristol Dirt Race. I promise you. We're here live. We're giving it to you live, but we're doing a show. So thank you for being in the audience. Next topic up for bids, 2311 corner. We're going to just keep doing our show. Tyler finished 6th and Bubba finished 7th with a faster car. Hate it for Tyler. Wish he could have got it done. I think everybody was planning on NASCAR's downfall and just the irony of the team suing you, winning the championship. For those who haven't been paying attention to the lawsuit as closely as we have, the judge filed that the motion for the injunction was denied for both Front Row Motorsports and 2311. Obviously, with the positions that they are in, they are going to appeal that decision. So we don't know what's about to happen next with 2311. But shout out to Bubba and Tyler. There was a joke made in our group chat that everybody knows and loves about Bubba's performance today, how he reported the car being tight and he got consistent improvement throughout the race day. And I said, good on him. Bad on Booty. Glad he got a week vacation early. He got a week's head start to his new role because Booty Parker wouldn't have done jack shit about that car. So Bubba drove from the back. And he got a top 10. I, for one, personally, I'm really excited for Speed Weeks. If there's a Speed Weeks for 2311, if they're going to be there. But it's good to finish the season on a high note. It sucks that Bubba has a better average finish than your NASCAR Cup Series champion. That's neither here nor there. But the fact that he ended the season on a good note with the Star Wars car. Please, Lionel. Please, Disney. Please, 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 Columbia. Please, no Sabrina Carpenter. Please let us have some of this merch from this drop. Please.
Damn, salty me.
trademarks be damned. Please, please, please let me have this diecast. But I'm just overall for the season, I'm really proud of 2311. I'm really proud of Tyler. I'm really proud of Bubba. Everybody thinks that I'm a Tyler Reddick hater, but I probably have just as much Tyler Reddick merch as I do Bubba merch. And I'm playing the fence with the apparel I'm wearing today, the 2311 exclusive from Airspeed. But I'm glad that the steps were taken. I'm proud of where the season finished as far as a hold for 2311. They got a car on the championship for 2311, competing for a championship today. And is this year 3 or year 3 4? This is year 3.
This is technically
year 4. Technically year 4.
Yeah.
But for a small organization to get as far as they did, to fight against the big guys, to fight against the powerhouses of sorts, really glad for how far they come. Once again, thank you, Michael Jordan. Thank you, Chris Polk. Thank you, Denny Hamlin. Thank you, FedEx. Sadly, this is FedEx's last race. We didn't get to talk about Denny much today, but
good. No, that's personal bias. I'm sorry.
I'll let you get it out. I'll let everybody, sit and speak about it 2311. But as disappointed as I am as the outcome of today, I'm glad of the growth that was taken for the team holistically. I'm really excited for Charles to come in and to implement his tutelage to see, what happens. Obviously with the lawsuit and everything, there's a huge asterisk, there's a huge question mark as to what 2311 looks like for 2025. But the teams have iterated and said that they have the money, to go without the charter. Hopefully the courts can see differently so they can move forward in 2025 with the charters and with redacted, driving the redacted. Because everybody knows that 2311 has secured a third charter from Stewart Haas Racing with redacted paying for it. But we don't know what we don't know. We can't announce what we can announce, and we're live. But I don't want y'all to screen chapter us or screen record us saying something damning or inflammatory. So redacted is the word of the night. But I'm still excited to see what 2025 brings. Hopefully it brings a third car. Hopefully it brings another title run. Hopefully it brings Bubba getting a sticker on the car sooner rather than later, since redacted's not on the car, crew chiefing. But anyhow, anyway, as a 2311 fan, I'm glad of where we ended up. There's still something to work towards, to not be complacent. And that's my personal speak for 2311 corner. I turn it over to Bonte, who is both on mute and cameraless. Your thoughts on 2311's season, Bonte? Good talk. Jer, your thoughts?
It's also
It's okay, but I'm coming back because I'm still here. Even apparently Bonte is not. I mean, I don't know. You look at the stats, you look at where Bubba's averages were above, our current champion. It's pretty disheartening in terms of the playoff system, but also it makes me really excited for next season when it comes to 2311. And then, just looking at the insane season that Tyler's had, again, winning counts, and he won when it counted, or he got enough points when it counted. And he's not the type of person, I mean, you see it in the way that he runs on his last laps. He's not the type of person to give up. And I think he's going to come back swinging next year. Obviously, like Jarrett said, there's that asterisk of the lawsuit. I mean, they've said that sponsors can dip if they don't have a charter. They've said that drivers can leave early if they don't have a charter. I hope against all hope that that's not a thing that's going to happen. But I think NASCAR is probably going to do their best to drive the situation out as long as they can. Just because there's a lot of negatives that come for these teams the longer that this drags out. So hopefully next season runs the way that we hope it does. Hopefully that there's not, the metaphorical wrenches thrown in the whole plan, and they come back swinging next year. I think both of these drivers had really, really good showings throughout the season. It's just a shame it didn't show up the way that we wanted it to. But at the end of the day, it wasn't a bad season overall for either of those camps. So I think, should things not kind of go to hell in a handbasket because of the lawsuit, I think we'll have a really good year next year.
Who up?
Carl.
Oh, it's my turn? All right, bet. So I don't know where to start, man. I'm of the assumption that this might be our last 23-11 corner for a while. Like I said, just because it's a postseason, we've all got different plans and stuff like that. So I'll try to cover a lot in a little bit. But as far as today goes, man, again, I can't. I cannot. I've always thought that Tyler Reddick was a really big. I think he is a Christopher Bell-esque talent, and I think that both of them are going to turn the corner because Christopher Bell's already kind of there. Something's going to happen, and like people are going to stop sleeping on them and align themselves with like guys like Logano and Larson and stuff like that because they're both extremely talented. It's unfortunate that I guess they couldn't get the car figured out today, and they just didn't have the pace. That sucks, and I hated that for him. I was happy to see that Bubba was running really well at a track that normally he, has some challenges at. But see, that's just the way it goes, man. I mean, like they constantly are improving. And so that was good. And this season was really frustrating, a lot of ups and downs. A lot of what could have been, a lot of Kyle Larson wrecked us at Michigan, the race we probably should have won, and so there's that. And, I will admit it is very hard to see Tyler Reddick be in this position and then know that like Bubba should have been closer than he was as far as like in playoffs and stuff like that. And there was just a lot of stuff that happened throughout the year that set them back. And one of those things that we didn't talk about when it happened, Jared kind of touched on it, is there's a change on top of the pit box for next year. Me and Art have gone back and forth time and time again about, Booty's role in all this. I love Booty Barker. He's been a part of some great programs in the Cup Series. He's been a part of, Haas before it was Stewart Haas Racing. It was back when it was Haas CNC. He was a part of Michael Waltrip Racing. He was a part of Germain. A lot of programs that did a lot with a little bit, and I can respect that. I can respect grit. But at the end of the day, it just wasn't a partnership that was working out. I mean, I do think that Bubba needed a friend, right, on top of the pit box, and he got that with Booty. But I just think that there was just an element missing, and I'm so happy that Booty has a leadership role in the company still, because I only wanted that change that Booty could stay there, because I think that friendship he has with Bubba is going to help. It has helped Bubba tremendously, and is going to continue. So I really just hope that a lot of the sparks we saw this year continue on to next year. I think about like the first half of the Coke 200 we ran, right? 300, however long, I guess 200 because it was over halfway. 23 car was the best I'd ever seen it. I mean, like I said, it could go right by the leaders and run right past them. I think about Dover. A weekend they were just slow all weekend long, and they finally figured it out at the end of the race, and he had managed to carry that car to a top 10 before he got wrecked and things like that. And it's like, if they could have converted those moments to the actual finishes that they should have been, then they would have been in the playoffs. And so, and like Kansas, like didn't go the way and stuff like that. So, really hopeful for next year. Hopeful that the luck finally is on their side. Hopefully that change on top of the pit box really helps. Love the progress that they made. I mean, God, he qualified like third at COTA. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it was sixth. I don't remember. But anyway, they've had a good year this year. Just wasn't really the numbers didn't tell the whole story, but I'm excited about that. And I just really hope this Carter situation goes the way that it needs to go. It's very worrying to me after the court verdict this week that I think NASCAR is okay with letting one of its newest teams, one of its most invigorated teams, kind of die on the vine to maintain their supremacy, and that's very worrying. And I do want to say I've been trying to put this into words every time I've been on the show. We haven't really talked about it, but there's a segment of people that are saying like, "Oh, Denny Hamlin brought this upon himself. All of the other owners didn't have a problem with it. X, Y, and Z. This is Denny's fault." And it's like I want you to think of all the legacy teams, all the charter teams, and how many of them have had to buy a charter in the last 6 years, right? Think of all the organizations that are winning races on Sunday, and how many of them have had to buy charters the last 6 years, right? Very few. Gibbs hasn't had to buy any of his. I guess did Gibbs inherit the 78 charter when they went out of business for the 19?
Yes.
No, they already had it. No. Anyway.
You're right.
Yes. Yeah, and I mean, JGR hasn't had to buy a charter. Penske hasn't had to buy a charter, or they might have had to. Did they have 3 cars in 16? Anyway, what I'm saying is this, right? A lot of the legacy teams have not been in the position of having to start a team entirely from scratch in this new era, in this new system. And so they have the roots dug deep enough in that they can manage with whatever NASCAR decides to do. But not every team has that luxury, and 2311 is one such team. And it's like I said on the Pod's Twitter account a while back. I think more damning than the 2311 fallout is what is the Front Row Motorsports fallout, because for NASCAR to be willing to let a team that has grown literally from showing up with their car in an enclosed pull behind, by being pulled by a dually, and barely making races and starting parking and showing up with no sponsorship and X, Y, and Z, all the way back from the Nextel Cup days to being, a weekly top 10 contender where Front Row is now. To get to this point, and for NASCAR to be willing to let that organization die on the vine because they say this is not a good enough deal for us to grow, I think is very damning. And I think that really goes to show that NASCAR is not willing to bury the lead on this, and they want to maintain their supremacy and being able to control the flow of money and all that kind of stuff. So I really am hoping it goes better, because I think NASCAR knows that, these teams cannot survive without an existing charter agreement. And it's a very dicey situation, and one that is deeply troubling. I'm not going to sit here and sugarcoat it. I think for all the other leadership to come out and say, look, we're not going to say one way or the other what we think of the agreement. I know Brad Keselowski said something to the tune of like, we weren't happy with it exactly. We signed it anyway. Of course, Brad is buying a charter now, and supposedly, he got that Kroger money. And I don't know, man. It's worrying, and I hope it goes right. But I fully am prepared for it not to go right, and I hope in that case that both those boys are able to figure something else out, because it would be very heartbreaking to get to Daytona and the situation have changed entirely, where one or both of them are not in a top ride in the Cup Series or even in the Cup Series altogether. So, yeah.
Fonzie? No? Okay. Did you speak?
Anyways, though, wow. No, but I'm so proud of Bubba, so proud of Tyler this season. Bubba with career high top 10s. Like I was ahead, he couldn't got the win or make the playoffs. Is what it is. Not his fault. Tyler came through, went to championship 4. Sucks that he didn't win the championship, but he tried his best. And that came in on that. Tried his best. Did what he could. Excited for next season for both the boys. Hopefully, if this lawsuit goes smooth, but other than that, I'm proud of Bubba and Tyler. Hopefully, next season will be better for for both.
Yeah, big dog. You know what I'm saying? It's I don't know. I feel like it was. We always want to step forward as a fan of a race team, and I feel like we did that. To answer your question, Jer, we are gonna go Lights Too Bright because I feel like Lights Too Bright's really funny this week. I feel like we had some magical moments for Lights Too Bright, so we're gonna do Lights Too Bright.
Well, I just said fuck me. I guess ain't let me go.
Yeah, fuck you.
That's cold.
Lights Too Bright. So my Lights Too Bright goes to the pace car driver. You dumb bitch. How in the world do you completely miss where you're supposed to turn off and hit the barrels in the 2025 Camry XSC? I blame Toyota for not having a TRD Camry for the body style, but that's neither here nor there. But the pace car driver gets my Lights Too Bright. You idiot. Awful.
Oh, now you want me to go. All right. Well, I'm gonna go for two since you want to be a dick. First of all, for 2311 quarter, I'll keep it brief. I might be one of the few here who can, but I feel very proud of their effort this year. I think this season was a good indicator of where they are as a group. They have 2 playoff caliber cars, and right now they have 1 car that is a Final Four caliber car. So, hopefully the change on the box will show better proof for the 23 car. Carl admitted in private conversations that I was right about Booty Barker, and I appreciate you, Carl, 100%. For that.
Yep.
I got the screenshot.
Yeah, that's actual defamation, and I will be suing you behind that. Because
please do it. I have the evidence printed and ready. Go ahead.
Wait, why are you?
That's fine. That's fine because I'm hanging up my clothes. I'm sorry. Okay. No, that's fine. But I, first of all, I never said you were right. And second of all,
said, quote, I said that to tell Arthur he was right. So anyway, moving on. Thank you very much for your contribution. Your segment.
I said that to you in confidence also.
Yeah, well, I said in public. So I'm very proud of that. I'm proud of the team. I'm going to hold pause on it next year. I have no idea how this lawsuit situation is going to go. But I fully expect them both to be back next year. I don't think there's a world where they don't field 2 cars next year. I know there's been some chatter about that this week. But I don't expect that to happen. Moving on, in terms of Lights Too Bright, I'm glad I get to go first because I can make sure nobody steals this. My Lights Too Bright is a gentleman who I didn't know existed 7 days ago, and that's Mr. Mike Ford of NASCAR, a gentleman who told Denny Hamlin after last week's race that the outcry over the playoff format was due to bots. My brother, I am here. I am flesh. I'm blood. I'm 3D, and I can attest to you because I've been bitching about it for years. I'm real. I wish I was a bot that was getting. I wish I was getting paid to give these takes. Lord knows I do, but I give it to you for free. So I just think it's such another example of the tone deaf leadership that we saw later on at Phoenix with the whole State of the Union address or whatever the fuck they call it. It's just ridiculous that these people just continue to stick their head in the sand, and that's why the sport's dying. That's why I probably ain't going to watch it next year because they continue to not have any idea about the reality that they live in, or if they do know it, they choose to ignore it. And if you're that kind of delusion and you're running the show, I don't think I want to be a part of your circus. So Mike Ford and NASCAR leadership, you are my Lights Too Bright. Please get some sunglasses, get some common sense, make some changes. I beg, I pray, please. There you go.
My Lights Too Bright is a petty one because he didn't actually have a situation this weekend. I just can't let the season close out without giving him another dig. You know it's coming. Corey LaJoy.
LaJoy.
Round it out.
That's gimmick infringement. Identity theft is a crime.
I think Corey actually had a good race today, didn't he?
I know. He was fine. His name was not mentioned once. That's why I said it's very petty Lights Too Bright.
I think Corey legitimately has been proving since he left for Ware. And so it's like I almost Justin Haley has kind of been going the opposite direction. And so I'm kind of worried that the issue wasn't Corey, but it was just Spire. And we've just really been just hammering on this man. And that's for fine. No reason. So
guilty till proven innocent.
Did I really go for LT?
No, I didn't. I didn't go for Lights Too Bright.
Kyle, who's your Lights Too Bright?
Tony Stewart, man, and Gene Haas.
Shit.
Yeah. I am. I'm gonna tell you why I'm so mad about this, right? Because like I see an interview that Tony Stewart does with Kevin Harvick, and he goes on about how the sport isn't the same, and it forced his hand to get out of X, Y, and Z and all that other stuff. And let me tell you something. Let me tell you guys something. For people that weren't around for it, Stewart Haas Racing was big. Entering the sport was bigger than 2311 because up until that point, like in the 90s, you had a myriad of driver owner teams, and they all failed, and all the drivers went back to drive for big teams or retired. Right? You had Darrell Waltrip and Ricky Rudd and Bill Elliott and all those guys. Like I said, they did their own deal, didn't pan out. They went back to drive for the teams. And so nobody tried it. Nobody thought it was ever going to happen again. Tony Stewart pops out, he does it, and everybody's like, okay, he's not going to win. It's over. Haas is a terrible team. They don't run good. And then not only he does that, the first season ago they win 3 races. They win 4 races because I think Ron Newman won a race that year. Maybe he did. I don't remember. And then 2 years later they win the title. And then they win another title 2 years after that with Kevin Harvick or whatever, 11 and 14, 2 years apart. Anyway, and so to have and they won a Daytona 500, they won a Brickyard and all that. They won 2 Brickyards and all that, I believe. And I'd say this, to go and have the legacy you built with this team, a team that was like, a lot of fans really kind of aligned with, because it's like, they're these kind of scrappy guys that have kind of defeated the norm and have kind of made a lot of noise. And to go and do all of that, and then you get to your last race, and there's not so much as a group picture with all your drivers. There's not a throwback scheme. There's not, Tony's not at the race. I mean, just whatever. That's a slap in the face, I feel like, to a lot of people, and I was just kind of really disparaged by that, because I was like, a lot of people helped get you guys to this point, and you guys go into the night without so much as a whisper. I mean, it's like it's over with. It's no more. We'll never see that again. And I just feel like kind of lied to and misled, because they had this whole big campaign at the beginning of the year. We're racers, and I don't feel like, okay, you guys were forced to sell whatever, but to come to the end of the year and not so much as like a throwback or a fallback, or not so much as like Tony being at the race, or you invite Kevin and all the guys, Ryan and I don't know if you can invite Kurt Busch legally or not, but all the people together and just something, and that didn't happen. The most we got was Rodney Childers tweeting out pictures of the shop being empty. Come on, dude. I don't know. I don't know. That's embarrassing. I think that's insulting. And Life's too bright on that, because I think you missed a great moment to give the fans that were so attached to that brand a chance to say goodbye. And instead it was like, we showed up and we ran 25th, 26th, 27th, 28th. We packed it up, and we'll see y'all next year. That sucks. So.
All right, y'all.
All right, wait, motherfucker.
You're. I can't finish that statement. I was about to say something really crass. Devontae, who's your Lights Too Bright?
All right, my Lights Too Bright. I mean, it was going to be Corey LaJoy, but.
No, you got to say it now. Say it in your voice.
I'm not saying it.
Corey LaJoy. Thank you. All right, now who's your Lights Too Bright?
Who my Lights Too Bright? Austin Hill, because you fucking suck. Anyway, I'm done.
All right, y'all. It's the moment you have all been waiting for. Arthur's going to put the names of our 1,595 followers in the blender. And while he's doing that, I'm gonna enlighten you on our off-season plans and have a little 2024 recap. I just want to appreciate every single one of you all for being here, every single listener we've had. every single person who's shared, every single person who's liked, every single person who's retweeted our tweets. Without you guys, we literally would not have the motivation to keep this thing going. I came into this episode fully intending of hitting the destroy button like Google, like on Inspector Gadget, and just blowing the message up, and us just being the end of this. But personally, I found motivation to come back to you guys and give you more vibes in 2025. Thank you to our partners at Home Field. Thank you to our partners at Nectar Sunglasses. Be sure to you can shop. Go to homefieldapparel.com. Use promo code VLV24. Save 15% off your order. Go to nectarsunglasses.com and use Victory Lane Vibes. Save 15% off your sunglasses. I'm really appreciative about all of you all being here. The leap that we've made from year to year. We haven't been doing this long. Officially, it's a year and a half. But you guys are amazing. You keep us going. We don't get paid to do a damn thing that we do with Victory Lane Vibes. We will always be authentic. We will always be truthful. We will always be inclusive. So I appreciate you guys. And that's the main reason why I'm cleaning out Arthur's closet on behalf of him, because there's nothing in mine. But because the fantastic listeners and fans that we have is a reason why we do the things we do, such as giving away contraband. Yeah, it's contraband at this point. NASCAR wants to claim that they own all the rights and properties to the next gen car. We are exchanging contraband. At this point, Arthur is my Marty Bird. We are recording a live episode of Ozark. Congratulations. You're here on Netflix. I just want to just say that I know, and I'm gonna let my other host speak from the bottom of my heart. I appreciate every single one of you for supporting us, for listening to us, for promoting us. And I can say in confidence that I will be back for 2025. I'm going to beg Arthur to come back next year. Jared's nodding her head. She's going to be back. I know Carl's going to be back. I know Bonte is going to be back. I know Peyton's going to be back. Hopefully Kiana can come back too. But from everybody here with Victory Lane Vibes, we appreciate every single one of you. Thank you all, 237 of you, for being here. I'm killing time so Arthur can do this thing.
I've been ready. I'm waiting. I'm about to take this straight. If you don't hurry up, I've been waiting.
Please take it straight. I've taken my straight. I'm done. I'm drinking that. Shout out Don Julio. Shout out 1942. If you are looking for a podcast to sponsor, please, ladies and gentlemen, this is the best tequila you're ever tasted in your life. It's $200. It doesn't matter. It's really good.
God damn.
I know it's good because you can't even say the word tequila.
I told you in confidence, man.
There's no such thing
this
as
is your fault.
This is
none whatsoever. I said make a fun little cocktail. You drink the rest of the bottle. That is on you, sir.
I'm not gonna. You think after the season we've had to endure, you think I'm gonna show up to this sober? Joke's on you.
Valid. All right.
Okay. The yap.
Wait. Hold on. Before you say the name, go in the closet. Go show it. Get out of the closet.
That's quite a sentence.
Please.
That really was. Those were some choices.
You know, we at Victory Lane Vibes, there's no pump faking. There's no fakeness. We give away real things.
I feel like you can't say
Shout out to the gentleman that won the 1,000 follower trophy that lives in Jamaica. Art had to pay tariffs. Art had to pay team's fees. Art had to... I don't know what the exchange rate is from American currency to Jamaican currency, but he said he had to pay 10 bands to get his prize, but it don't matter. He got it. But there you see it, ladies and gentlemen, live on camera in 4K, probably 2K because Arthur's webcam. But somebody's about to win this McDonald's Dr. Pepper rear quarter panel on behalf of
I was going to say, did I tell? I'll tell you that story tomorrow. Never mind. I won't say.
No, go ahead.
Anyway,
no, we got 11 minutes till I'm gone.
Yes, we're wrapping the show. We're wrapping the season. Shut up. Anyway,
he's a bully.
Do you want a drum roll real quick? So, okay, we picked it, and there's a number, and that name is. That's Natalie Decker. Natalie, you can't win. I'm sorry.
Oh, shout out Natalie Decker. Shout out baby Decker. Shout out Natalie.
We gotta run it again.
We missed you. Thank you. we gotta
congrats on that baby. She got a little baby coming. Good for her.
She got a little baby. Congratulations,
okay.
little baby.
So this is not a driver. So this is Joe Morganti at Left Nuts Hub. I'm about to DM you. You have won this beautiful piece of metal. Please check your DMs because the last person that won this wouldn't reply. You know what? I'm not going to put their name on blast, but I hope they hear. No, we're not going to put their name on.
No,
we doing it.
No. It's okay.
I'm just going to say there is an account that follows us. That's a big 2311 fan. I appreciate them for all of the following and the engagements they give. But I slid in your DMs, big dog, and you ain't answer. You left me on red, so I couldn't. I was ready to go. So, Joe, I'm about to hit you up here in 9 minutes. I hope that you answer me. So please answer the DMs. DMs are
Joe, please, Joe. I don't want to have to award this gift a third time. We are real. Victory Lane Vibes is real. It's on Jer's shirt. We are real. The prices are real. The shipping costs are real. And we pay this so you don't have to. Okay.
How do you manage to fumble the bag like that? That's crazy to me.
It's coming to the crib, bro.
I've never felt more validated than you just saying that the shipping costs are real.
The shipping costs are real, bro. Arthur told me in confidence what it costs to send all of the stuff we gave my brother in Jamaica. If you thought we weren't big, if you thought this wasn't a big podcast, we have listeners abroad, and we paid for countless things to go to Jamaica, man. It wasn't cheap.
That would not have been cheap, even like a domestic.
It wasn't cheap at all.
That would have been expensive even in the continental U.S. Like to Jamaica.
It was very expensive.
I could tell when Art's probably my Christopher Bell Fender. I could tell that shit was not cheap.
Bro, I'm a starving artist. I just hope I'm appreciated in my own time. I just don't want to be gone before I'm appreciated.
And we got 8 minutes to Jared's bedtime in our cutoff point. We're cutting off at 10. So I'm gonna get back on my soapbox. I appreciate all of my co-hosts. I appreciate all of my listeners. We have experienced exponential growth this year. I just want to thank the facilities that we visited this year. Thank you to Richmond Raceway. Thank you to North Wilkesboro, even though, never mind when I'm saying that. Thank you to North Wilkesboro. Thank you to Darlington, never mind, I can't say that. Shout out to Kiana for going to Darlington. But we're all just regular ass people that do this podcast. We don't have any ties to the media. We don't work for NASCAR. There's no insights. I'm not with The Athletic. You can't liken us to Jordan Bianchi. You can't liken us to Jeff Gluck. Shout out to my boy Pop Crackers because we interviewed him, but we're just regular ass NASCAR loving fans. And we do this for the sake of our listeners. So again, I appreciate every single person that does this with me. I appreciate every single person that listens to us. No, we're not. just thank you. Just thank you guys. Thank you to Art for cleaning out his closet. Thank you to Carl for taking the time he does away from his career to do this. Thank you to Jared for taking the time away from her career to do this. Like I'm just
hang on while you're going on, you forgot. Hang on. Now you got to give a shout out to we got to give a shout out to the sister show, Danny JT on the
thank
F1
you, JT. Thank you for being here. I've seen you in the crowd. What's happening?
I've been working their ass off on that too, man.
Oh yeah. What's happening?
It's
we have two shows. It's not just a NASCAR show. We have chicanery. We have your open wheel endurance racing fantasticness. If you don't listen to chicanery, you should. There's a new episode of chicanery about to drop before we put this episode out, because I guess I'm going to record or upload a 2-hour and 45-minute episode, whatever. But I truly had every intention of coming on here and just blowing this up. But I appreciate every single one of you all. To my co-host, just thank you for doing it. I know it gets tiring sometimes. I know it gets annoying. I know NASCAR is annoying. I know the playoff system is annoying. Thank you, Art, for being my road trip buddy. We were in the mountains of West Hell going to North Wilkesboro. I'm wearing this hat on purpose because this is probably my most proud souvenir of the entire NASCAR season. It's this Victory Lane hat from North Wilkesboro with the Victory Lane embroidered on the side. This is my most cherished possession of the 2024 season.
No, we were fighting our life for that, bro.
We were fighting for our life in that race.
We need another drunk show so we can go through that in detail. Because boy, your boys were going through it, man.
Paywalled. That experience is gonna be paywalled, but
we had some adversity.
I'll shut up. But I just want to say, as the accidental voice of the show, I appreciate you guys. Thank you.
Real one.
Thank you. Thank you.
Absolutely.
You're welcome.
Yeah, man.
I know you ain't. You're welcome.
Shut up.
You know what? On that perfect note, end the show. End the show. Right there. Right there. Wrap it up. We got nothing else left to say after that. It's done.
Sometimes
appreciate you guys for listening. Appreciate you being here. Be sure to support our partners. Go to homefieldapparel.com. Use VLV24 as your promo code to save 15% off your order. Go to nectarsunglasses.com. Use Victory Lane Vibes to save 15% off your order. The next order of business for Victory Lane Vibes, as I stated, Chicanery is coming with a fresh episode as soon as I upload it to Spotify. You guys will have that at the beginning of the week. We'll upload some semblance of this, I assume, to Spotify. Maybe not. Art's looking at me like I'm crazy. But just stay tuned. Our season-ending report card episodes for all three series will be recorded probably next month. We need some time off. We need to sober up. It's all Jared's fault. We have 4 minutes. This is Jared's spare time. Any questions from the audience, comments, concerns? Brandon gives us hand claps. We appreciate you. Phil, we appreciate you. BJ, your shirt is in the mail. I promise. We ran out of extra larges. We have to order. We have to get high off our own supply. We have to order your size shirts to send to you. I apologize. It's a crazy ass system, but we got rid of all of the free promo that we had. Anybody in the audience have any questions for the Vibes host, for y'all out there, the listeners? We kill in 3 minutes. 10 o'clock is my cutoff.
We don't have to go.
You do not have to kill those 3 minutes. Good night, y'all.
I gotta be
sure. Are you sure? Mr. Joseph, the winner of the diecast of the sheet metal, please, no Sabrina Carpenter, answer Arthur's DMs. Please.
I love shouting so much.
I want to get this out of our
Wow. I blame Jared.
Did you just profess your love?
All right, play the outro. How do we play the outro?
I don't. Yeah, I mean, you know.
What?
Nigga, I'm exhausted. I have you up at fucking 5:30.
Go to bed.
Fontaine, anything you want to say to your fellow Wisconsians? Fontaine says thank you. He does.
Still recording.
All right, we appreciate y'all. It's been
damn! I thought the show ended 3 times already.
All right, I'm playing the music.
We appreciate y'all for listening. Report card episodes. Art's playing the
what's
music.
up, y'all?
That's fire.
NASCAR driver Bill Lester.
Bob Parker's
I'm NASCAR the intro.
He's playing the intro while we're doing the outro. This is hard.
Smith.
Hey, start over.
Listening to Victory Lane.
No.
Victory Lane.
Listening to Victory Lane 5. Let me tell y'all a secret. You want to know a secret? We got Key Glock on our intro.
You know that it's not Key Glock.
It is Key Glock.
It's not Key Glock.
It is. That's how you save the file.
I know, because when I made it, when I made the intro, I was like, I need to find a song like "Let's Go" by Key Glock, and I found this, and it was free.
There's more to come for sure.
So it's a Key Glock type beat.
Final time through 3 and 4. He's gonna do it. Bubba Wallace wins.
Why is it still recording in the show?